Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to Selection Sunday action. I'm having trouble for some reason with my television. Cannot figure out why it is not working. I do not know what in the world is going on. So, I cannot see anything right now. I've been trying to figure this out for the last 20 minutes. How are we doing, everybody? What's going on? Welcome on in. Where have I been? Dietrich, do you follow me on social media, buddy? And I announced it very, very often, every day before Super Bowl that I was going to be on a long trip after Super Bowl and an All-Star game in Europe. South region is stacked. Yes, so I'm bummed. I'm not. I have to turn this back on my phone because unfortunately it's not working on my TV, and I'm so bummed. So I'm so sorry I'm late. Here, let me pull this back up. Hold on, guys. Okay. Whatever. Why is this not working? Are we kidding? Still? I have no idea why this isn't working. I can just see the photos of the brackets coming out. So, ugh. But how about first team out being the Xavier, chat? And I'm shocked. I'm honestly kind of shocked that Indiana's making it in. Joe, thank you so much. You have a new computer? You have a new computer? Hi, Hov. Yeah, I'm bummed. But our first four out that we're looking at, guys, get this. Xavier, Boise State, Texas, and North Carolina. I kind of thought maybe for the brand they'd sneak in there somehow, but nope, not happening. Ohio State, I knew that was happening. They're out. The last four in, Utah State, Vandy, San Diego State inches in there along with Indiana. That surprised me. I didn't think they were going to have enough. So I'll pull up the bracket here as well, guys, and we'll go through. Lauren, thank you so much for the sub. Kent St. John's only. Kent, what color do you want to change the microphone to? What's up, everybody? We are live right now on the FanDuel channel, so I'm not going to get into too much personal detail, but I will shift to just my personal account as we're ending stream, just so I can chat with you guys. Long story short, I have not been very healthy, so while I'm obviously really glad that I went on my trip. It was okay. First part was really great. Second part was a little rough. But I'm kind of dealing with some stuff. So, thank you to everybody for kind of understanding. And, we'll be back obviously in a semi-normal streaming schedule, here for, March Madness. But, I'm not going to get into details right now just because we are everywhere right now. But I will tell you guys a little bit more in detail once we have gotten through kind of the women's Selection Sunday too as well. So, Perfect Freedom, thank you for the tier 3 sub, you rock star, 24 months. What color do you want to change the mic to? Thanks, Lauren. You're the best. Okay. So I will pull this up. But I will just go through, oh, you're right. UNC isn't, yeah. I don't know why. Okay, see, because I'm just getting, because the show's not working for me right now. I need to just, this is so annoying. I feel like I don't know how to work anything right now. I hate that my TV's not working, and then my login isn't working, so, on my phone. Let me try my laptop. Oh, you have two tabs open? Okay, good, because I'm like, I do not have the capacity to fix something right now. Leave it blue. You got it. We are on a hype train chat. That is so exciting. Wow, I cannot believe it. To think I almost quit streaming. I'm telling you, it's been a month. Okay. Let me see if I can get this up better. We'll definitely be locked in for the women's, but for some reason this is being very stupid. Okay. Okay. What the heck? Okay. Let's try this again here. Because my login credentials are not working. So I'm just seeing like pictures. Obvi. I hate this. It's so annoying. It's really, really annoying. It's stupid. Let's see. Women's bracket comes out in under 2 hours. So excited for that. Your notification says it's football season. You know what? I forgot to change that, and maybe I won't ever. It's a sign that you shouldn't watch while working. Hi, Sean. Great to see you as well. If you guys have said hi in here and I have yet to say hi to you, please say what's up again. I am just really off, so just need you guys to do the heavy lifting in chat for me today. That would be great. Yeah, I hate that I cannot figure this out. I can't figure out how to get the show up. Don't cry. I don't know why my TV's not working. So I suck. I'm sorry, guys. I really do suck. But let's see. Come on, CBS. Come on, CBS. Show me something. All right. Live for baseball doubleheader. Nice. It's football season somewhere. I love that. Okay. Let's do. Can I get to not now? Wow. Okay. No, because it's gonna be weird with my. Let's see what it does. I have no idea. Guys, I can't figure out how to work anything right now. I don't know what's going on. I'll fix it next time. Ad blocker. Oh my gosh. Please turn off your ad blocker. How do I do that? Are we kidding? It's like everything that's needs to go wrong is going wrong right now. But it's okay because we're celebrating sports. Yay, go sports and college basketball, which we love March Madness. So I don't know how to do this. Oh my God, are we kidding right now? I am using Chrome. Is that bad? Continue. Oh, here we go. Click the ad block. This is insane. Icon in the extension bar. Okay. Wait, what? Okay, click the ad block plus icon in the extension bar. What's the extension bar? Why can't I just watch it? Next to the URL. Okay. I don't see. I just see. Nope. I don't see it. It's a stop sign. Do I need to make the window bigger maybe? I don't see a stop sign. I just see 3 dots. Click the ad. Yeah, I don't see it. I see what ad block is telling me, but it's not. It's showing me exactly what you're saying, and it's not showing up. North Carolina got a sus bid. Yeah. Well, listen, this is sus. I was seeing wrong stuff immediately because I can't watch the show. It's not working on either my TV or my computer or my phone. And so I'm seeing screenshots of stuff. So at first I saw that North Carolina was a first four out. So I just spread major fake news. How do I do this? Okay. Extensions, manage I know. So Hoff, that's what it's showing on the demonstration too, but I don't have that. Like that doesn't show up on the top of my screen. Okay. Okay, I had to go to the regular extensions. Okay, block ads beneath blog. Wait. Click the large. Okay. Let's try this again. Oh my gosh! Click the ad. Okay. Pause on this set. I don't understand. Details. I cannot figure this out. I know. No, exactly what you put. No, nothing pops up. And my TV doesn't work right now. I don't know why. I have no idea what I did. I've even charged my remote multiple times. Well, I'm sorry for a crappy show. Anybody else have any weird way, even though it's now been 30 minutes that I've been trying to figure this out, so I know I've missed everything, but at least we can get it situated for the women. Let's see. I'll just go to let's see. Might be a long chat, but okay. Maybe I'll try it on this computer, actually. Maybe I'll do that. It says this page has been blocked by Chrome. Yeah. It's not working. Why is my... Wait, now the volume's working. But why won't it work? Okay, that was weird. Now suddenly the remote is working. 30 minutes later. Let's see if I can get this. Well, something.
Like they were playing for that mojo affected to the right, smiling and it up. From the conference without a single
all right, we're up.
Year,
oh, thank God. Wow, that was insane.
3 seed and they will face the Troy Trojans.
I'm also very foggy, so
the school's first ever Sun Belt Player of the Year, Tayton Connerway. So look out there. The 7-10 matchup in Lexington. UCLA.
All right, we're eyeing the Midwest region matchup right now.
As Mick Cronin has surpassed the 500 win mark, and 3 different coaches, 3 straight tournament appearances for Utah State, their opponent for that 7-10 matchup. The 2 seed in Lexington will be Tennessee.
There we go. Let me pull up Bracket Hub.
For 5 weeks and led by a transfer again this year.
Okay, let me get the bracket up for you guys as well. All right. So UCLA gonna play Utah State. Don't think that should be too much of a problem.
Spartansburg's own, the Wofford Terriers had a dramatic
Make it green. You got it.
win against Furman. and make it back to the tournament for the first time in several years.
And they have the dramatic free throws of Kyler Filowich shooting underhand.
Underhand, that's right.
All right, who's going to be left out, chat? Who do you guys think is going to be left out of the tourney? We're on the men's action right now. Men's action.
Gonzaga, first of all, as an 8 seed, is a really tough matchup, right? But
Gonzaga, an 8 seed? What world are we living in? I mean, it's a different year, obviously, but wild, right?
Those 1-8 games.
Or Georgia. I mean, Georgia has been impressive as well.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, I got my slingshot out. Ready?
Okay.
We're going to sling Goliath. McNeese says the 12 seed, Will Wade, moves on. Shock of the tournament.
I love that
High point,
McNeese is in.
takes
Yes.
down Purdue. High point
I want
goes
to see
the Sweet
McNeese
16,
with the upset over
then we move
Clemson. Do you
down,
guys think it could
bottom
happen?
of the bracket. Mild upset. I like
Yes.
Utah State.
Okay, so Triton, so San Diego State did get in. I mean, I knew it was going to happen.
SEC with
but-
Kentucky and Tennessee, and then Tennessee going to the Elite Eight. Is that enough for you, Clark?
That's a ton right there. You went real
I'm out.
slingshot.
Should I
You went real. You probably should. But then you went very much slingshot. Illinois has been a team that's
Ohio
been
State
high
struggled
octane,
toward the end,
extremely
Travis.
aggressive, has hit some bubbles, some turbulence. because
And,
of
I
injury,
mean, think
and
about it. I
then
feel like
getting
Xavier,
right
well,
and
UNC,
improving
the
reset.
brand, the
Because
basketball
there's
brand,
anybody
ACC
that can
basketball.
Texas
I mean,
first 4 matchup. Wow, that'll be a good
the
one.
brand got him in, right?
One quadrant still remains. Several teams remain on edge. Among those still waiting.
That's a good one, Joe.
UNC Wilmington, Drake, and Omaha will reveal the final region when the selection show continues live on CBS.
At AT&T,
I'm so excited for this music this time of year. We love it. Ohio State really fell off towards the end. They really did. I'm really excited to watch UC San Diego though get after in their first year of eligibility.
I got dressed first this morning. I thought you said you were gonna wear it.
connection means something. And that's why with AT&T, if there's a network interruption, we'll fix it fast. We credit you a full day of service. That's AT&T.
Okay, let me pull this up for you guys. Let me pull this up.
Home Depot has fast, free next day delivery, so you can slow down and nail your free throws.
Duke looking good right now. Hey, you guys, if Duke can hang in there without Cooper Flag,
Order today and get fast, free delivery from the Home Depot.
how far can they go, chat? How far can they go in the tourney? Let me pull this up. Okay.
That's the crunchy, melt in your mouth feeling of Ritz toasted chips.
Let me pull up. Okay. I want the updatable bracket, please. You know what I hate by this point is when so much like projected stuff comes through instead of the actual bracket. Yeah.
We are back from the break.
So-
Time to get back into these brackets, revealing the overall #1 seed.
Nothing beats fresh. That's why Wendy's uses fresh, never frozen beef. With every burger made fresh. for
That's a
you,
brilliant ad.
Waiting on you.
That's a brilliant ad.
When you
All right,
want
who am I missing? Anyone who is alive in the YouTube chat, please say what's up. Hi, Bateman. How you doing? Sorry, just catching up on YouTube chat.
Starting a business is hard. You have to stay connected at all times.
As we've been growing the studio, Spectrum's been there every step of the way. I'm always able to make the phone call that I need. I'm able to shoot that text message or that email. Every vital piece of equipment that we have here uses Spectrum.
Fast, reliable internet, starting at $40 a month. Backed by the
How we feeling so far?
Keep your business
You think Elite 8, they don't make it past without flag?
If you've
Elite 8, probably with flag, Final 4. Woo!
Call from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
You're betting against Michigan? Hi, Joe. I missed you too.
CBS and TNT Sports would like to recognize and thank our official NCAA
Ohio State must pray
partners
to get in
partners for their
they
ongoing
favorite
support of
16
the
more
NCAA
chances.
and NCAA student athletes throughout the year.
Yeah, Ohio State could still get in. Yeah.
All right, welcome back. 3 brackets down with just 1.
3 brackets down, 1 region to go, chat.
To their seats.
You want to see I want to see UCSD upsetting Michigan. I think it could happen, chat.
Now it is time for the final
I think it could happen, seriously. Anybody else?
and its corporate champions. We are
I'm with you, Flank. Chat. One's in the chat if you think Ohio State. Maybe we could get a poll. Does Ohio State get in? Yes or no? One's in the chat. Ohio State's in, 2 if no. 1 for Ohio State in, 2 if no. Here we go. In the West region, chat. In the West region. We got Florida as the 1 seed. Who won the SEC tournament, obviously, earlier today. I saw that notification while I was in church. They're facing Norfolk State. It's always one Cinderella. I think we got a couple Cinderella options this year. UConn, 2-time defending national champs, as an 8 seed. They're going to fight. Oh, they're going to be facing Oklahoma. Oklahoma is 13-0 in non-conference play. Does Ohio State get in here? Chat, we only have a couple more minutes to find out. Couple more minutes to find out.
We shift to Friday action in Seattle. Memphis won the American Championship earlier today.
Thank God Memphis won the AAC conference. I mean, they basically allowed other teams to get in, right?
Colorado State is coming in on a 10-game winning streak.
Woo, Colorado State on a hot streak. That's going to be a great game. Memphis versus Colorado State, a 5 versus 12. Big win streak for the Rams. Hi, Shy Mike. How are you?
The Crab 5, the highest scoring starting 5 in the country. Maryland is in.
Maryland is in as a 4 seed. There they are.
Leads them in scoring and rebounds. Great season from the Terps. And they will face Grand Canyon.
Facing Grand Canyon.
Antelopes are in high gear under tournament legend Bryce Drew. 3rd straight tournament out of the WAC. We now go to the bottom.
Oh my gosh, no one else has said that. All right, bottom half of the West. This is what we're looking at.
And the 6th seed is Missouri.
Missouri.
From Dennis Gates,
a 6 seed.
18 in the SEC last year, 10-8 this time around. A top 10 scoring offense.
How about the contrast in style?
How we liking the way the West is falling out, chat? How the West is 1? Was 1. We're waiting to see if Drake would fall in.
To a 3rd straight Missouri Valley crown.
And those Bulldogs are tough. They defend at a high level, have one of the best players in stat sheets.
I love it. They call it Arch Madness.
This is going to be one that's must-watch TV for me.
Number 1 scoring defense in the country.
Number 1 scoring defense in the country. Wow.
Is Texas Tech, the highest scoring Texas Tech team in 30 years, led by
Texas Tech, a 3 seed.
Games, a school record 15.
Who saw that coming this year?
The only team to win at Houston. They will face UNCW, CAA champs.
UNCW.
More than anybody else.
Never gets old seeing these teams react.
Way to go, Seahawks.
Great crowd.
The 7-10 matchup Thursday in Providence, Kansas. The streak continues in the tournament for a record 30
Jayhawks.
Season, and their opponent.
All right, chat. Who's alive in chat? Who's here? Who's high? We are watching Selection Sunday, the men's action right now. We're going to go through the bracket and everything here once it's all revealed. And then we got the women's bracket coming out here in about an hour and a half.
The 2 seed is Rick Pitino and St. John's.
Hey, St. John's is back with Rick Pitino in charge.
The first head coach will take 6 different schools to the tournament.
6 different schools to the tournament he's taken.
He's tournament crown last night for the first time since 2000. But if we have an upset, hide the garbage cans in Providence because Omaha's making their first ever trip after a school record 22 wins.
That's awesome. Omaha's making their first ever trip to the dance.
Let's zoom out here and refocus to the top of this bracket. Seth, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a mild upset for you, and that's another 12-5 with Colorado State, partly because of the injury issue with Tyrese Hunter. We don't know
how
he's going to be for Memphis, but
conveniently put Patino in cover. Right? Together for right? Seriously. 2 legends? 2 legends?
I like Oklahoma to win that 9-8 game over UConn.
Well, I'm taking a look at the top part of this bracket at the bottom.
That was some fast bracket matching up. Ohio State is running out of time. I think I don't know, chat. What do you guys think?
Maryland team. I like the Terps to advance. We're going to head down and take a look at the bottom part of this bracket. And I tell you, I highlighted this particular matchup when it was revealed. Missouri Drake. Contrast in styles. Drake's style plus the way that Bennett Sturts can play really makes it challenging for a team
that wants
to play fast.
With you.
And Missouri stayed patient and poised against a team that's really good defensively and against the shot clock. I like Drake to be a double-digit seed winner there.
And then let's look at the bottom there.
I think Drake could beat Mizzou.
Arkansas is going to get Boogie Flam back.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how John Calipari puts him into the lineup. But that's going to give them some depth that they didn't have. Kansas, I think, still's got veterans to play. That's going to be a great game. And then the winner could possibly get Rick Pitino in the next round. It can't get better than that.
Patino Calipari.
It was pretty good. Right? Patino Calipari, exactly. What an ideal second round.
Now we've been alluding to this, the breakdown of the conferences that earned multiple bids. And yeah, the SEC leading the way.
Look at the conferences with multiple bids. 14 from the SEC.
There are 7 teams
14 from the SEC.
12, 5 from the Big East. ACC getting just 4 bids, lowest total since 2013.
Wow, ACC only having 4 bids.
And the 4 teams that were close but did not make.
Oh, last 4 in. Texas, Xavier, San Diego State, North Carolina. That's what I said in my video. First 4 out, West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio State, Boise State.
Xavier, I got to say, Indiana is the one that sticks out to me. They had a win at Michigan State, home against Purdue, 4-13 quad 1. So more.
Yeah, what about those quad 1 wins, chat? What about those quad 1 wins?
A quad 3 loss at home to Stanford. Indiana did not have any losses outside of quad 1. So I'm curious to hear the reasoning. I mean, North Carolina had a great non-conference strength of schedule, terrific in the metrics, but the bottom line is only 1 quad 1 win to Indiana's 4. Carolina had a quad 3 loss. Indiana didn't have any losses outside quad 1.
And that's where that subjectivity within the community.
How do we feel about that, chat?
10 folks there. Not everybody votes on every round of these particular teams. And when you put yourself in position, I take this from you, when you put yourself in position to be on the
100%.
stoop, then you end up getting whatever you get. And that's basically what happened there. I'm surprised by North Carolina. But again, with the new metrics, adding to the toolkit of the committee.
This is the reason, though, we should not have expansion, chat, right? We do not need an expanded tournament.
That's your point. It only takes a few guys on the committee to honor the metrics a little bit more. We always talk quad 1, quad 2, but obviously the metrics were important on some of these choices, especially Carolina.
There you go. All right, the brackets are now out, and you can say game on. Fill out both your men's and women's brackets for a chance.
Ayo, it's time to fill. We're gonna get our bracket challenge going for you guys to compete against each other. 3 straight years now, Ohio State hasn't made the tourney. Well, it doesn't make it easier now that they're an expanded conference.
And up next, we'll talk with the gentleman who oversaw the selection process.
Well, we have a bracket. Should we take a look? The 2-11 matchups look tough.
Seems like everyone drives.
Let me pull.
Save hundreds on car insurance. Oh, perfect. Valet parking.
Valet parking.
There's the keys.
All right.
And go easy on my ride, mate. Beef Wellington smells nice.
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Nope. Come on.
Do you suffer from need?
The need for speed.
Struggle to decide which one of the many TVs play
All right. Let me
Wild Wings to watch? Not anymore. Introducing the Beat-Ups Vision Goggles, the perfect way to watch every single game
Let's
at the
see.
same time. With its patent-pending mirror vision
Come here,
technology,
baby.
you get a full 360
Pulling up the bracket for you guys, chat. So just hold on, okay?
that rival the Baroque era Paris. You'll be the coolest guy at Le Bar. And I'm so crazy, I'm practically giving them away. Let's go, sports bar.
Come on.
Okay, ladies, eyes on the tape.
Here we go. All right.
Who recorded over my game footage?
I just love his voice.
Great, it's lost forever now, Dawn! Coach, relax.
Lost forever now, Dawn.
Everything. The cloud. With one investment, you can access the NASDAQ 100 innovators who are rethinking the world. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more.
Okay.
Hunter Dickinson, a couple questions for you. Do you like my haircut?
Yeah.
Thank you. I got it at Great Clips. With clip notes, I get the hair.
All right. Let me get this out for you guys. Hold on.
Bro, do you even work here?
No, bro. But my
Do you even work here?
works everywhere.
Here's another tip from the Tool Shack. How to stay in the zone.
The
All
best
right.
way to stay in the zone is to stay cool.
The best way to stay cool? Bring your fans with you.
I love our fans.
Oh, wow. We can spot your
Hold on.
dehydration
Allow.
from a mile away. Welcome to our world of extraordinary hydration science.
We've been busy advancing
Whoa.
the science of hydration. We selected the ingredient of allulose, a naturally derived sweetener that doesn't spike your blood sugar like glucose. If creating such an amazing sugar-free formula was easy, everyone would do it. But they don't, because
Whoa.
they can't.
Liquid IV, sugar-free hydration. Zero sugar, zero artificial sweeteners.
Okay.
Welcome to the dance.
This is what March Madness is all about.
Feeling good, looking good. I love March. A little kiss. March equals madness.
Oh, the madness of March never disappoints.
Okay.
Another look
I'll
at
pull
the
up the whole
top
bracket
four
here in a
seeds
second, but I figured
in
we'd
each
just
region.
start
Now, the number at the bottom of each
with the
region is
regions.
total. When you add up the overall seeds of the 4 teams,
Thought we'd
listed.
just start
So in
here.
theory, the lower the number, the more difficult the region. So upper left with Auburn. There you go. Joining us
Yeah,
now
Auburn
for
is
their
the number
insights
1
into the
overall
selection
seed.
and bracketing process are Bubba Cunningham and Keith Gill, the chair and vice chair of the NCAA Men's Division I basketball.
Hi, Kent.
Committee.
How are you?
Bubba, what would you say was the most difficult challenge the committee faced?
Hi,
this
Kent. How
time
are you? Yeah, right. The West is absolute hell.
A number of challenges, and
We don't have so many
congratulations
upsets.
to so many outstanding teams.
The bracket is just fine as no expansions needed, right? As an ACC fan, it's weird to only see 4 teams make it. Absolutely. I think just as a college sports fan in general, not seeing more ACC teams, only 4 ACC teams
Opportunities to go a little bit deeper with some of our
in the
teams
big
that were on the
dance
bubble than we've had in past years.
for the men.
It's always a really fun
Wild.
ability to draw
Wild.
So, Bubba, congratulations on being done first and foremost.
Crazy.
I am very
Game 1 is done,
familiar
so I have
with
about half an
all
hour.
of the
Everyone's,
protocols
yeah,
and
first
procedures
thoughts,
inside
chat,
the
on the
community
bracket
room.
so
You guys
far.
went
I'm
to
taking a
great
look here. I
lengths
will pull up the
to
whole
make sure there
bracket
were
in a
no
sec,
conflicts of
but I am taking a
interest.
look region by
You are
region
the
down with
athletic
you guys
director
here.
of the
Can you
University
guys
of
see
North
on the
Carolina
right-hand side
Council.
of
So
the
it's gonna be a
screen, my
natural
left?
question for
Your
people
right?
who don't know all those procedures to ask whether North Carolina may have gotten a little bit of an advantage that their AD is a chair. So I'm going to invite you to
Did
answer
North
that
Carolina get
question, and then
lucky?
maybe if Keith could shed some light on that discussion.
Well, thanks, Seth, and obviously I'm going to defer that to Keith. But all the policies and procedures were followed, and Keith can address exactly how North Carolina
Keith,
was discussed.
passing it off to Keith because I don't want to be in trouble.
Yeah, thanks, Bubba. And Seth, I appreciate the question. As the vice chair, I managed all the conversations that we had about North Carolina, and we had quite a few. Our policies require the AD of any school to recuse themselves and actually leave the room for those discussions. And they're not allowed to participate in any
Quad
vote as
run
well.
record,
So
chat. They
we
are
followed
1 and
those,
12
had
this year,
lots of
North
discussions
Carolina.
About North Carolina. Saturday night we took our final vote, and we voted in 4 teams in the field on Saturday night, and we had a contingency vote. And the contingency vote, that was the last team in the field, and it was based on Memphis and UAB. If Memphis won that game, then that was going to free up the spot in the tournament, and that was going to be North Carolina. If UAB had won, then Memphis was going to be in the tournament. UAB would have been in the tournament, and North Carolina would have been the first.
Whoa! You guys hear that? I told you. Did I not say that Memphis had everything in their hands
Put North Carolina
in my video?
Great answer. Bubba and Keith, Jay Wright here. Thank you for your work, and I want to ask you, there's 14 SEC teams. There's 3 opportunities that they could play each other in the second round. Can you explain any adjustments that had to be made with bracketing to take on 14 teams from one conference?
Right, Ohio State had 7 quad 1 wins. I know it's kind of messed up, Travis. It is.
Off of the seed line, but we really had to move people around to minimize the conflict early. And when you have 4 different regions, we made sure we really had.
If you guys are just tuning in, we are watching the Selection Sunday show for the men's. Women's coming up in about an hour and 15 minutes here. So we have our full bracket out. I will put it up full screen here in a second.
Again, keeping everyone on the same seed line
move them apart the best that we could.
But please say what's up. React with your thoughts in chat. Hi, Shannon. Sorry, Shannon. I'm just getting a bunch of the YouTube messages are coming in late. A bunch of the YouTube messages come in late. If you aren't picking UConn to win, you don't know anything. UConn always beats Duke in the NCAA tournament.
But I would like to go back to a more general question around those teams.
Did you know you can become a multimillionaire if you pick UConn to win this year's tournament? You think a three-peat happens, Shannon? You think a three-peat happens?
More metrics in the toolbox. What was that?
Yes, brackets are printable, Boogie.
That ended up being on the outside in the last 4 or 5 spots.
Yeah, well, you know, we had a lot of metrics. We added a couple of this year. We added Torvik, we added the Wob, and those.
I hope that all this chaos with obviously like Ohio State not getting in, everything with Xavier, San Diego State, North Carolina, the 3 foos to get in. Indiana, Ohio State, the big ones to be out. Kind of West Virginia there too.
West Virginia, and they had an outstanding year, and unfortunately, Tucker DeVries was hurt. And player availability is something that we talk about quite a bit.
See, that's the other thing too, chat. You have to keep in mind player availability.
Ohio State was close, Boise was close, and we had a lot of conversations about those teams as well. But yeah, as I said at the onset here, that's the hardest part of being on the committee is having to draw that line. But with only one real upset this year, there were an awful lot of teams on the bubble that got in, and last year, as you guys
chat, how we doing? What are we thinking?
5, and so we couldn't go very deep into the to that pool.
Bubba, Keith, this has been very insightful. We thank you, and we congratulate you for getting to the end of this process. Thank you very much.
I love the logic, Shannon.
Thank you.
All right, our March Madness coverage officially gets underway with the first...
Never lost a title game with a 39-8 record in the tournament since 2003.
First round action begins at noon Thursday and Friday with the second.
Shannon, I take it you're a UConn fan? I'm just kidding.
A week later, it's the Sweet 16 and Elite 8.
I love the logic.
And it all culminates with the Final Four in the national.
All right, thoughts on the bracket, chat. I will pull this thing out full screen here in a second so you can see it all.
And make their Final Four and national championship predictions. The selection show continues after this.
Let me turn this down a little bit. So, but let's go region by region, breaking this thing down. So Auburn, obviously the overall #1 seed of the entire tournament. Getting a 1 seed here in the South. And I believe for the first 4 out, they will play the winner of Alabama State or St. Francis. Then we got Louisville. Creighton. That's going to be a great storied program game. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a good one. Chat, let's get hype up in here. There's a bunch of you in chat who I know are just watching and sitting. I want to know your thoughts on the bracket. So taking a look at the rest of the South here, Louisville, Creighton. I always root for Creighton. Always root for Creighton. That's where my grandparents met. So always love rooting for Creighton. We got our basketball, our head coach from Creighton. Michigan versus UCSD. I am hoping the Tritons pull off an upset here over the Wolverines. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Oh, man, hats off. Shoot, I don't have my basketball hat. All right, I'll have to do that in a little bit. Nick, thank you so much for the sub. What color would you like to change the microphone to? What color would you like to change the microphone to? So we got Michigan, UCSD. I am taking an upset. Give me UCSD in this one. Tritons, let's go. I didn't mean to click on that. Texas A&M versus Yale. Bulldogs are in. Give me Texas A&M. Ole Miss at a 6 seed here in the South will play the winner of San Diego, North Carolina, San Diego State, North Carolina, I think. Yeah. Yep. Then we got Iowa State and Lipscomb. And then we got Marquette and New Mexico. Light it red for the Lady Wolfpack. You got it. Oh, shoot. Alex in here. Hi, Alex. How are you? Miss you. Here. Do Nick for 5 seconds, and then Alex, what color would you like to change the mic to? Let me know. The breakoff of the ACC will be the next domino. You think if FSU and Clemson can convince the SEC to take them, the rest should merge with the Big East, create a hoop-centric super conference. I know it just will change college sports forever. Like, I do miss what we used to have with the Big East, you know? Cookies and cream, that's funny. Blue, you got it. Am I? I'm glad you're good, Alex. I'm okay. Not great, but that's okay. It's all good. I'm gonna get into stuff when we have our community chat after the women's bracket reveal. But right now we are live on all the channels on FanDuel as well. So we are talking college basketball, but I will get into some personal stuff a bit later here after the second bracket is revealed. So yeah. And we got Michigan State versus Bryant. So that pretty much wraps up the South. As we look at the West, we got Florida to 1 seed. Taking on Norfolk State. Then UConn versus Oklahoma. That 8-9 game, that's going to be good. You got your defending champs. All right, they're talking about UConn on the selection show right now.
Is the number 1 overall seed, and Seth, what intrigues you here?
Well, again, UC San Diego, the Titans, their first year in Division I. I liked Iowa State a lot more about 10 minutes ago. I just found out Keyshawn Gilbert for Iowa State not going to play. That's going to be big for them to have him out.
I like the Yale Bulldogs, and I think this battle with Texas A&M is going to be a slugfest. Who would think an Ivy League team would get into that? But Yale could take on Texas A&M. I'm going to take Yale on that one.
All right.
And I like Yale as well. I like the Bulldogs, physical, good offensive team. And then Louisville as an 8 seed is very interested in a potential second-round matchup with Auburn.
All right, we are flipping over to the West now here. Clark, why don't you start us off?
Well, I'm gonna start
All right, they're on the West as well.
complete in the country in Florida.
Lipscomb's NAIA rivalry with Belmont stuff. Oh, really? They're in over their heads against Iowa State, definitely.
Because of how well Grand Canyon has played this season.
We got tortoise in the hair here. I'm going to take the hair with the upset at number 11. And the real dangerous team I hear, I think Texas Tech. I think they can handle the physicality of St. John's. I think they beat St. John's in the Sweet 16.
Very intriguing. Let's get
Whoa, we're going far there.
Corner of your bracket at home, the East Region, Jay.
Autumn, Florida should have been a title game, not a semifinal game. Isn't that the worst?
Because Dana Altman changes defenses so much. You run into him. I think they could get past Liberty. And I also think they've played Arizona before. They can get past them, too.
Woo! Oregon get past Arizona? Okay, let's go in round of 32.
But I, too, like Oregon exceeding. Moving on in this particular match. And then you go down to the bottom of this particular bracket for me. You think about Alabama making a run to the Final Four last year. They've been a little disjointed, a little inconsistent. Can they find their rhythm and get back to a Final Four? We'll see.
All right, next stop, the Midwest region, the bottom right, Houston, the top seed. Seth, what jumps out?
Again, I do like Utah State in that 7-10 match.
Oh, I want to see McNeese from the Midwest. I really want to see McNeese pull out an upset.
McNeese, High Point, Sweet 16. Just in case anybody didn't hear me light myself on fire early in the show.
Give Coach White great credit for getting Georgia to the tournament. A great run this year. But I think this Gonzaga team is playing on the top of their game right now after beating St. Mary's in the final. They go up against Houston. That game is going to be a monster game.
SIU Edwardsville. Anybody know where that is? Or what it is? Dan Hurley is 12-2 all-time at UConn, and then Silver is reigning to he is. That's true. I'm a huge Dan Hurley fan.
Occasional upset aside, though, the analytics say advance all the 1, 2, and 3 seeds in your bracket. Looking for a long shot, the 11 seed has won half its meetings with the 6 seed of late.
Wow, the 6 versus 11 as of late, 50% winning chances.
Now, you all had UConn winning it last year. Clark, though, had both finalists. So, who makes it to the Final Four this time around? Who cuts down the nets? You're our clubhouse leader.
Oh, so I get to choose.
You get to go first.
Start? Well, I tell you, I'm going to take Michigan State, the regular season champs in the Big Ten. I take them out of the South. Florida is the most complete team in the field, in my opinion. I like them coming out of the West. Clemson is my dark horse. They've been rugged. They've actually.
Clemson is the dark horse. Oh, it's Southern Illinois. Got it. Okay.
We move them this way. I'm taking Clemson in San Antonio.
Wow.
Yep, and I'm going with the Gators as my team.
Money Matt, thank you for the 18 months. Thank you for the 18 months. What color would you like to change the microphone to?
I know. I had Iowa State here, but because of the injury to Keyshawn Gilbert, I'll take the Spartans, everybody else, and I'll take Duke and Florida.
Money Matt, what color would you like to change the mic to? What color, what color, what color?
I think are cutting down the nets in San Antonio.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. I like Auburn coming out of the South. I like the Johnnies sneaking out of the West to get to the Final Four.
Woo!
Duke in the East.
Jay has St. John's winning the West.
I have Houston, Auburn.
Rick Pitino back at it again. Your Creighton Blue Jays have a tough first game. I'm rooting for the Blue Jays, though, Manny Matt. I am. I love Creighton. Purple, you got it.
I'm happy having a Big East.
Three different
and the Big East had 5 in the tournament this year after only 3 last year.
All right, very good. You mixed it up. You mixed it up pretty well.
Jay learned not to go with my pick, so third selection show.
You guys are very chalky, very chalky.
Yeah, he was a little out of hand early in the round. All right, that will do it for us here. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a report into the mysterious drones flying over U.S. military sites, followed by new episodes of Tracker and Watson, plus a new episode of The Equalizer tonight on
Oh, is the
CBS
show over?
Our Selection Sunday coverage will continue now over on CBS Sports Network in just a few minutes with NCAA March Madness Bracket Breakdown. For Clark Kellogg, Jay Wright,
All right, let's move.
I'm Adam Zucker. Thank you for watching, everybody, and enjoy.
Who's ready to party on Saturday? Yes, that's right. It is my birthday coming on Saturday, and same with Alex. I will be in Arizona for spring training. I will be streaming on Thursday. I will be I have to look at what other day this week, but I will be streaming all day on Thursday. So if anyone's staying home and watching college basketball all day on Thursday, I will be live here all day. Happy early birthday. Thank you. Thank you.
Way too often, people are betting on sports, losing, and taking it out on the athletes. Only a loser would harass college athletes after losing a bet.
Agreed. Only a loser would.
Every day. Root for your team. Get crazy when the buzzer sounds. But don't harass anyone because you lost a bet. It's time we draw the line and put an end to the abuse. Brought to you by the NCAA.
All right. Let's see.
CBS celebrates Women's History Month.
Okay.
My eyes are going
You can work
to
and lurk.
UConn
Love it.
because the projections are that it will be a 2 seed, and who is their unfortunate 1 seed? And this is the reason why. Gino Auriemma has proven over the course of the last 40 years that no one gets his team ready for March better than Coach Auriemma. This is a team with 11 national championships.
Right, we're on.
Kelsey, they've gone to 15 of the last 16 Final Fours.
Hold on.
Remember, last year they were a 3 seed. Where did they end up? Beating USC in the regional final and getting to the Final Four. So if I'm Texas, say, as that last overall 1 seed, the one team I don't want on my 2 line is UConn.
You're looking at it quickly and saying, oh man, okay, we got to get ready for what lies ahead and hope somebody else can take care of them before we have to.
Okay,
UConn has a
let me
ton of
see.
superstars. We've got a ton of superstars all throughout the women's game. But heading into all this March Madness, is there anybody that maybe we're not talking about enough that
Hold
you're
on.
really excited to
Hold
see?
everything.
I think a player that within the
Give
women's
me
basketball community we're
what-
talking about a lot,
college
but
game.
probably
No.
not globally, is Florida State's Tanaya Latson. This young woman
Starting
is leading
soon.
the nation in scoring.
Wait, what is? I'm
25
confused.
points per
Okay.
game. She is an incredible self-shot creator. She can go by players.
It's been almost 10 years since the UConn women won a title. That's wild.
Free throw line, assists to her teammates as well. She is simply a bucket, and I think she will have an opportunity.
Who will be here to work and lurk like Lauren will on Thursday, chat?
A lot of her last year as
Who
a
will be here to
freshman
lurk and
fell
work?
A little bit from their standards from last year, so maybe
Who will be here to lurk and work?
in the studio. And David, people are going to see plenty more of her tonight, right?
Absolutely, Kelsey. Here's what it looks like. The shows are all lined up on the tarmac. We got next bracketology, and then at 8 Eastern, the women's selection show. 9 Eastern.
All right, we're moved over to ESPN.
Bucks, and then at 11:30 Eastern, it's Nicole Briscoe and Michael Eaves with Sports Center.
Looking forward to all of that. But right now, the first one that you saw on there, it is time for bracketology. We send you right back down to Nashville. Reese and the game day crew. I think they got the brackets ready.
The
All right.
destination in the NCAA tournament is San Antonio. Final Four
Yeah.
for the 5th time in 2008.
Awesome. Love it, J Money.
Time in tournament history. All 4 #1 seeds made it to the Final Four. The #1 overall seed.
That was that year. Oh my gosh.
Regular season champions in the SEC. Auburn has lost 3 of 4. No
Yep, Selection Sunday. Well, 8 for you, Travis. 5 for me. Yes, so the...
Came up a little bit short against a great Florida team in the SEC Tournament Championship. The Big Orange reached the Elite Eight last year, and they are the 2 seed.
Tennessee just looks stoked right now. Did you guys see that?
For the first time since 2019. What a turnaround under Pat Kelsey. The Cardinals are dancing one more time. And while all of those programs have a rich tournament history, there are the new
Good for Omaha. Just makes you want to cry, right? Getting your first ever bid in program history.
by making it into the NCAA tournament. We are here in Nashville.
Good King Ruben. Hello, how are you? What color do you want to change the microphone to? What color do you want to change the mic to? What color do you want to change the mic to?
The bracket. 68 lines.
Target of blue, you got it.
Same opportunity to 68 teams. 68 chances to make one's dream come true. A regular season obstacle course of injuries and upsets.
Rebound. However, he tries. Oh, he makes it.
Those games earned you one line of 68. Now, the goal is to earn that next line, and the next, and the next.
Whoever invented the bracket, you know? I'm like,
From a roller coaster season.
oh, really, Alex? Ohio State men's basketball does need a complete rebuild. You're totally right.
Get help playing like NBA vets.
Introducing himself to college basketball fans around the country.
Might Tom Izzo or Rick Pitino defend the honor of the old guard? And can the SEC take this season a nearly unprecedented height and win its first national title in 13 years? Or will some team we're not talking about, with a double-digit seed next to its name, once again turn this all inside out? 131 total lines.
North Carolina State did chaos last year, and I loved it.
To madness.
Welcome to Bracketology.
All right.
Presented by
We getting ready to fill out those brackets, chat? We getting ready? We getting ready? We getting ready?
Day of the year, the day that teams build for to hear their names called for the NCAA tournament. Glad to have you with us on Bracketology, alongside the great Jay Billis, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams. I am merely Reese Davis. We're going to have Bubba Cunningham.
All right, let me
who's the
pull
chair
up,
of the tournament
let me get
selection
something
committee,
here.
Join us a little bit later on. John Shire, the head coach of Duke, number 1 seed.
If you're just joining us, we are watching all the obviously post bracket reveal chaos. I'm gonna throw the entire bracket up here in a sec. Got like a major crazy headache right now, so just bear with me. And then we got the women's bracket reveal coming out in 56 minutes. So we'll go through by region. Right now they're on the south.
For the first time since 2019 against a really good Creighton team. What about the draw, Jay, for Auburn potentially in that second round against Louisville or Creighton?
Not bad at all. Auburn, even though they lost 3 of their last 4, look who they lost to and when it happened. You know, they lost at Texas A&M after they wrapped up the regular season championship in the SEC. While they were at Kentucky in Lexington, and they had to play 2 days later. Maybe a little of a hangover, figuratively and literally. So I'm not as worried about that. But as long as they're healthy, I think they're in good shape to get through the second weekend.
So funny.
The
Okay.
5-12 matchup is Michigan and UC San Diego. The Tritons with the nation's longest winning streak at 15 in a row. Texas A&M and Yale. And I don't know if anybody's really
Yes, UCSD is the nation's longest winning streak. I mean, guaranteed not the same kind of caliber opponents, but still.
Team a year ago. What do you think about the 4-5 seeds and how dangerous those 12-13s might be against them, Seth?
Okay.
Texas A&M Yale is really good. They defend.
Let me do
Their
this.
physical, they're tough.
Whatever.
They can rebound the basketball, but Texas A&M turns over the physicality. They don't take plays off. I love this Michigan team. I think Michigan's a team that's going to come out of this thing and face Auburn.
Okay, that's the top half of the South. Let's go to the bottom half. The 2 seed in the South, out of the Big Ten, regular season champions. Michigan State opens play in Cleveland on Friday against Bryant. You've got Marquette in New Mexico there. Iowa State and Lipscomb 3-14.
Okay, hold on.
Matchup at Ole Miss against the winner of San Diego State and North Carolina who made it into the field.
It's crazy that San Diego State, a storied, you know, March Madness team, almost didn't make it in. Crazy, right? Let me squeeze this. See how this works. Maybe it'll work? No?
In December, they have 4 losses to teams that didn't make the tournament. And you talk about a team like West Virginia, who had 6 quad 1 wins. They beat Iowa State. They beat Gonzaga when Gonzaga was number 3 in the country. This is like West Virginia is way more deserving to be in the tournament than North Carolina.
And, you know, you look at that, though, in that part of the bracket, too, and Pete Thamel just breaking some news that Keyshawn Gilbert is out for Iowa State for the entire tournament.
That's absolutely huge. Keyshawn Gilbert is a big part of that big 3 on the perimeter for Iowa State. He impacts them offensively, impacts them defensively. That side of the bracket has.
I don't know how much you guys will be able to. Well, we'll just.
Like Iowa State's a team that could make deep run. Now North Carolina jumps in there. North Carolina is going to be a factor in this thing.
They could be. I mean, I'm not as worked up about the end of the line this year as I have been in past years. Like North Carolina getting. We spend too much time talking about the 30th best team in the country or 35th best team in the country. What I do think about the bottom half of the bracket is Michigan State got a fantastic draw, like fantastic. If they're going to beat Bryant, and then I think, and then.
Okay, so let's take a look at the bracket. It's obviously a little hard to. I really can't have the whole thing up with you guys being able to even see everything.
Because they've got a great turnover margin, but rebounding against Michigan State is going to be a real difficulty. Iowa State.
Can you guys see the teams at least?
But it just limits how far they
can you guys see?
In my view, without Keyshawn Gilbert.
Like if North Carolina's fortunate to win that game, they match up fine with Ole Miss because Ole Miss isn't overly.
I think Alex, my expectations are always really low. The Najee signing surprised me.
If they can get by Ole Miss and Iowa State.
Predictions are correct for NC State women, and we get the region with USC. I like our chance to play. Ooh. You guys think your backcourt can outscore Judy Watkins? She's a beast.
At least to the second round, and of course we've seen teams.
Okay, you guys can see. All right.
Out of that too, as VCU did.
I don't doubt they can win a game or 2 with where they are.
Right.
I'm just saying beyond that.
Oh, no, not beyond that. But I mean,
okay, well, surgery is better than amputation, Alex. I know you're kind of talking about that too, so hopefully that sounds good.
Their backcourt with Alan Lubin playing as well as he is right now.
1 second, guys.
They have a cause. They're back in the tournament.
So it was the way they lost too.
And the way they lost, they've got a cause.
This is not
interesting.
This is not the reason why they're in. But can you imagine the rating that they're going to get for the first 4 out? I mean, a team like North Carolina in the first 4 out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
No question. Also drawing ratings for sure will be the Duke Blue Devils. Duke once again a number 1 seed. Blue Devils will open play against the winner of the American Mount St. Mary's game. That's in Raleigh.
American University, is that the school?
Duke's their first time as a number 1 seed since 2019. 15.
Wow, this is Duke's first time as a number 1 seed since 2019, since pre-COVID.
Mississippi State Baylor game. Mississippi State. Look.
Don't have 1 quad 1 win. Well, I think you have 1 quad 1 win, right? Good King Ruben. Liberty at 12, you can dig that.
When he was at New Mexico State, so potentially a very physical matchup for Duke in the second round if the Bulldogs advance.
And I think they will. Mississippi State has Josh Hubbard, who's a bucket getter, really good guard. Cam Matthews, one of the more versatile players in the country, not really a scorer, excellent defender, outstanding passer, gets a lot of steals. They're going to be very difficult to deal with. The bottom half of that draw, if you have Arizona and Oregon going forward, Duke played Arizona in Arizona at McHale, and they held them under 60 points. Like, Duke's defense is the best in this region, I think.
Duke's defense is dirty.
And if healthy, if Cooper Flagg comes back and he can play on that ankle, I think Duke is going to advance to the second weekend out of this group.
Just in the big picture, the East, I think it's the toughest bracket, top for bottom, because they got Alabama on the other side. But this is a good bracket for Duke, just for the fact that I think the style of play in terms of.
Funny that we draw Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl and then draw. I know,
Oregon,
right?
Team, not a great team, and Arizona has struggled. I think Duke's in good shape in this bracket, but
you think the East is
Oregon will have a lot of fans there though because they're playing in Seattle in the East region, even though it's
love this Akron team. You got a 13/4 potential upset there with Akron and Arizona.
I don't see that. Akron just too undersized. Now Akron, look, they've won 20 of their last 21 games, and they have the ability.
Always funny how that stuff works out. All right, so Peru's, and obviously I can't have the entire bracket up here because there's just too many games, too many teams. But
these dudes expect to win. When teams like that come into a tournament, they've won so many games. Their expectation is to go out with no pressure, hoop, and try to make something special happen.
And they play fast.
Whoa, Alex. Whoa.
The fact that they play fast.
Down 85 points a game.
Guys, I think Mississippi State's going to beat Baylor as well. But if Baylor is able to get by, that's going to be a former Duke point guard that played for Coach K, and Jeremy Roach that will be playing against his former team at Duke. That would be a great matchup.
There's so many transfers now and coaches move. I love the little connections like that. There are a number of them potentially setting up in the second.
yeah, there's a lot of good little matchups here between coaches who are with different programs now. Yes, who's ready for Thursday, chat? That's right. I will take a look. I don't know if I will stream Wednesday. I will keep you guys posted. I'm going to try. I will keep you guys posted about Wednesday.
And VCU and Wisconsin came up a little bit short in the Big Ten Tournament Championship game against the Grizzlies of Montana.
I'm bummed I'm not streaming all weekend, but I'm going to Arizona for my birthday and for spring training, so just the timing didn't work out great.
Worry a little bit about their health. You know, Grant Nelson's been banged up. He didn't play in the second half of their last game. I think Alabama's the best team here, but there are some really difficult choices to make in this bracket. Like St. Mary's Vanderbilt, that's a tough game to choose. Like Vanderbilt, I think may actually be better than St. Mary's.
I forgot about Wofford. 3-game win streak tied for longest this season.
Slow the game down. Augustus Marciulionis is one of the better point guards in the country. Mitchell Saxon can really offensive rebound. They're men. And so they can make that into a possession by possession really slow.
All four 1 seeds reached the Final Four in 2008.
That's going to be a great game.
No team has three-peated as a champion since UCLA. 7 straight in the 60s and 70s.
BYU is interesting because almost half their field goals are threes.
The 2 seed has not reached a title game since 2016. How about that?
His great-grandfather invented the tater tot. Are you a fan of tater tots?
Big on tater tots.
You go catch them. Saying you don't. You go catch them. Who doesn't love a good tater tot? I mean, even Napoleon Dynamite, protected his tots and wouldn't share them.
Exactly. Also, Igor Dimon plays for them, leads the team in assists as well, and their floor spacing.
I love that they're talking about tater tot.
They can find themselves.
Hi, baby. Guys, Luna's not doing that well. She's trying, but she's having trouble moving around.
They can make 10, 12, 14, 16 threes in a game.
By the way, Kevin Young, an assistant coach with the Phoenix Suns for
system. But VCU can do the same thing.
Do you know which team?
Right, no 1 seed is lost in the first round before. That's right, Good King Ruben.
They're going to tell us.
I know because
San Diego State, North Carolina. I mean, that's it's crazy because that just sounds like a Final Four game, right? But it's a first 4 game. So I'm gonna try to stream that game. I have to see and check my schedule, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, to go ahead of Notre Dame. There was still time on the clock, but back then it didn't stop on a made field goal. But if they had time on the clock, that would have given Digger's assistants a chance.
That's not right.
He's watching.
That's why
Called me 3 times in 90 seconds today.
Wow, American University has an 18% opponent turnover rate, highest in the Patriot League. How is that going to fare against St. Mary's? You truly believe the women's basketball tournament is so much better than the men's? These days, I'm with you. Okay, thanks for popping in, J Money. A 1 seed has lost in the first. Okay, thank you. Okay, who spread fake news in here?
Game in 23 years. They'll open against the Zags, who won the West Coast Conference tournament. Clemson and McNeese. That's Thursday in Providence. That could be a little bit of a danger game for Brad Brownell's club.
Guys, do we think McNeese can upset Clemson? Ooh, excuse me.
15, 16.
If you're just joining us, we are watching college basketball action, reactions to the bracket reveal here for Selection Sunday for the men. The women's coming up here in about 45 minutes.
At the beginning of the year against Baylor, and they look like Final Four good. And obviously lacking consistency throughout the course of the season, even though they won the WCC.
What's up, Goonbella?
But going against a Georgia team who actually, we just watched Florida win today. Mike White, who used to coach at Florida, now coaches there. And Asa Newell, they play the physicality in that game, in which I think they can beat Gonzaga.
They can beat Gonzaga, but Gonzaga, I think this is like a point guard bracket. Gonzaga's got one of the best point guards in the country in Ryan Nembhard. He averages 10 assists a game. That's a lot.
Virginia lost in the first round as a 1 seed, then won the championship the next season. Who is spreading false information?
Same region.
Fake news.
Houston is not helpful to that cause because I think Houston is going to beat them.
Anyone start getting ready to fill out their brackets here for the men?
Look to me like a Sweet 16 Elite 8 team. That's a tough team to play against.
I think St. Mary's Vandy will be a good game.
Can make the game chaotic. But I still
UConn Oklahoma is going to be a great game.
They can handle, I believe, that pressure with the guards that they have. James Zachary.
I'm pulling for a McNeese State upset here over Clemson. I think Georgia goes home, even though they've done so much this season. Gonzaga is too good of an 8 seed.
They create turnovers. They're also an excellent offensive rebounding team. Sincere Parker, again, was at Illinois.
I think Drake can pull up the upset here over Mizzou.
That can see over things. The depth. Can Clemson get worn down, I think, is the big question.
And then, yeah, it would be cool to see Kansas and St. John's play each other here. I think that happens.
I mean, they fought Alabama in Tuscaloosa. They only lost by 8 now, okay? And they played Mississippi State neutral court. So they're really
the SEC has so many teams in the tournament.
You got Braden Smith, you got Chase Hunter, you got
14's crazy.
Big time point guards in that bracket.
And at the bottom of the bracket, there's a pretty good point guard for the 2 seed in the Midwest, too. Zakai Ziegler of Tennessee. They will open up against Wofford, the Big Orange. Coming up just a little short, man, did they fight? They fought Florida to the end. They'll open play.
Hi, Fishman.
In Lexington,
I'm all right.
UCLA,
Not great. That's okay. How are you?
Kentucky and Troy. 3-14 Milwaukee on Friday. And then, one thing that happened with the last 4 teams.
I kind of forgot about the Midwest region.
In Dayton in the first 4.
Here.
Power conference teams. North Carolina, Texas, Xavier in basketball, power conference for sure. All of them.
Are we gonna get ready to fill out our men's brackets, chat? Should we start filling them out together? Should we start doing that? And we're gonna do a group, obviously, fill out. We'll get to compete.
Look, Texas is a team that I think can make a run here. Honestly, with the way they play. I know that obviously the way they
the overall 1 seed is Auburn up here in the South.
And then being the likes of Texas A&M, I think they have the sides that they could beat up on Xavier. Actually, that matchup against Illinois would be. I may favor Texas in that.
Yeah, Michigan State in here. They are who they open up against. Bryant. They open up against Bryant.
Did they get close to number 1 or 2 in the country early in the season?
Early in the season,
They're finally healthy. Yakachonis controls the tempo of the game. Great ball screen guard. The problem is they're going to rely on 3 freshmen. Are you going to take 3 freshmen?
Auburn, I know. Trust me. Not a fan. Guys, let me grab some water some sparkling water really fast. Hold on 1 second.
If they were to advance and form holds enough to see Tennessee, they did beat them twice this year. So
yes, but without Lamont, if Lamont Butler's not healthy, that's a crushing blow to Kentucky. Now they don't have Jackson Robinson; he's out for the year with that wrist injury. I think Mark Pope's done a spectacular job with that team, but I'm not sure they defend right now. They were getting better defensively, but without Lamont Butler at the point of attack, that really affects their defense. I mean, they gave up a ton of points to Alabama. They got run out, and Lamont Butler not being there was a huge factor.
Henry and Butler, 2 dogs. Now they're down a dog. They're not the same defensive team.
That's how the bottom part of the Midwest looks. The number 1 seed in the West might be the team that's the best in the country. I don't think there's much doubt that they're playing as well, if not better than anyone. Florida, number 1 in the West, that advances to San Francisco once you get to the regionals, but the Gators will play in Raleigh on Friday against Norfolk State. And then UConn, who hasn't lost a tournament game in 2 years, trying to join UCLA as the last team to three-peat back in the Wooden era. But they open up against Oklahoma and then would have Florida. here's the thing I've said. I understand that UConn's different. I understand that they haven't played at that level. They're still UConn, man, and I'm the 1 seed. And I'm like, oh, really?
I don't know.
Really?
They don't defend like the team like UConn did last year, especially at the guard position.
That's the problem. They're not the same defensive team. They're the same offense. They have an elite offense still. They're really good offensively, but Oklahoma's better than people think. Like they're very, very good. And Jeremiah Fears, their point guard, a freshman, is really difficult to contain. He can go for 25 or more in any given
Or
game.
spit it up to the other team.
Well, that's true too.
UConn offensively is hard to prepare for because you can't simulate what they do in your practice. Yet you're going to have some time to prepare for them as opposed to in the 36 hours. Their Achilles heel all season long is their inability to defend the ball. Right? And that is a problem against this Oklahoma team because they play with 3-point guards. They don't just play with Jeremiah Fears. They have 3 guys on the floor at all times that can break you down, get in the lane, and that is a problem for the perimeter defense of UConn.
Jalen Moore is really good too.
He's hard on front slash.
I don't know what the status is of Tyrese Hunter and his foot, if he is able to come back. And I know PJ Haggerty and Dane Donja are really good players. But, I mean, when you think about Nick Clifford at Colorado State, he can absolutely score it up. He's just one of those guys that when you get into big lights, if he has a big game, they can put Memphis in a bind.
He's a big dude. He's a big, old, wide dude. He shoots threes. They post him up. I mean, this is a team that assists on 67% of the field goals. They run not good offense. They run great offense, Colorado State. They get the shot they want. They challenge your discipline. The big thing for Memphis is can they take care of the ball? They turn it over 90% of the possessions. That's too much.
You guys were talking about the point guard bracket in the Midwest. I would say that the bottom half of the West, Seth, this is your bracket. This is the bracket you're going to love more than any other.
I grabbed a snack because did I sit on? Oh, I sat on the remote. Whoopsies. I am on this new thing right now, trying this new thing, and it's giving me a really bad headache. Oops. Nope. Okay. But I can't take anything right now, so
bracket. Now, the Kansas Arkansas, they played earlier in the exhibition game.
So I'm hoping that eating something will help a little bit.
Kansas struggled. They have not had their identity.
All right, what did I miss in chat?
But they are dangerous. They can play through the post.
What upsets are we liking here in the first round? What upsets are we liking here in the first round for the men's? Remember, women's bracket reveal coming up here for Selection Sunday in about 37 minutes.
Ridiculous. They defend, they rebound, they don't shoot the three, but they get the shot they want.
You know, they had 7 of 14 from behind the arc against Creighton.
He says they're getting better.
Hey! Ayo says thank you so much.
The Final Four, the first one he took was Providence, and they start play in Providence.
They got a great.
Ayo says, what color do you want to change the mic to?
The second weekend, I think they're better than both Kansas and Arkansas. I think they're going to beat Omaha in the first round. You know, they've got great players at the key positions. Kaderi Richmond at guard. RJ Lewis at the.
I can't believe we get San Diego State, North Carolina for a first 4 game. I wonder if that's the 18th or 19th. Green. You're looking for a spread upset? I got you. I can pull up FanDuel. We can look at the Bucks and see also what some opening lines look like. You like Drake over Mizzou? Me too, Travis.
They played better, but they're still.
Oh, okay. So you're digging for UNC. Dang it. Okay.
They're getting to the rim and getting downhill, and they're defending at a high level. But I would like.
What time is it at?
Against either of those teams.
I'm going to take Texas Tech to make a.
You don't think North Carolina should have been in? I think you're with a lot of similar fans, Money Matt.
You also talk about Elijah Hawkins, his ball pressure on the guards, the way those
like the Memphis upset.
And shoot and be will.
I'm playing good ball.
The guy that actually can get to the rack has that big size and they defend.
I remember who they're playing.
Houston. I mean, they got a toughness about them. They're not a sideline team. They just keep it square in front.
Oh, Colorado State. That's right. Actually, yeah, Colorado State has been surging here.
Chase McMillan can shoot that thing.
Watch out for Drake against Missouri. Bennett Starks can score.
You have San Diego State winning.
They can slow the tempo. They're a very good basketball team.
And guys who know winning too. They have 4 transfers from Division II teams.
Can't say San Diego now, AO says, because you got UC San Diego also in the tournament. UCSD in their first year of eligibility. Pretty impressive.
Bracketology is presented by Lowe's. We help, you save.
All right.
So we're down 34-0. Winning will be tough. That's why I brought in the ease specialist.
Right.
The E
Right, that
specialist.
makes car insurance easy. With the Geico app, you can check your policy.
Wait,
on
what
the
did I
go,
have
get
here?
access to 24/7 claim support.
Okay, let me know if there's some certain matchups that you guys want to see on the screen. I like McNeese over Clemson. I love McNeese over Clemson, especially with their student manager. Hell yeah. That aura, give it to me.
Without an audience.
AO says, I want to see McNeese be a Cinderella team. Let's see. But going back.
Over time. Covered by Medicare for more people managing diabetes with insulin.
Okay.
This is progress. Ask your doctor about the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
Eczema isn't always obvious.
Eczema isn't always
So,
red.
look over here.
Eczema isn't always going to
If McNeese can get past Clemson, which will be tough, they are a favorite to make it to the Final Four.
Eclipse is a once-monthly treatment to help those with moderate to severe eczema find real itch relief
If
and real results.
they can get past Clemson.
More clear at 1 year.
Don't use if you're allergic to Eplis.
And imagine High Point gets the upset over Purdue.
Eye problems
Do you have a McNeese High Point game?
if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not
We
receive
could
a
see
live
McNeese
vaccine
get
when treated with
to the Sweet
Eplis.
16.
Before
I
starting
know I'm
Eplis,
insane.
Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Skin that's still more clear.
Sorry, I'm crunching right now, you guys. I'm just
Clearly, it's possible. With
I'm trying this new stuff, and you have to give it time to adjust. And
about Eplis for eczema.
and it's
Meet Coach Niall Ivy. She's an expert in many things. Master motivator, savvy strategist, and the very definition of a player's coach. One thing she's not an expert in, quantum physics, which is why she recruited Sierra, ace academic advisor. Coach Ivy takes care of the talent on her team the same way you take care of the talent on yours. Let our expertise round out yours.
Michigan losing 5 versus 12 game because UC San Diego. Let's go! I love to see it. Hell yes.
Rounds, regions, and seeds. All that
Yes, UCSD would likely then face a surging Texas A&M.
Appearing at every turn. That's bracket brain. There's only one thing to do.
But I mean, we could watch out for Yale.
Tap into the #1 bracket game and play.
Anyways, guys, bear with me. Sorry for the crunching, but I'm super nauseous because of this stuff I'm taking. Oh my god. Is there really not a game for college basketball, good King Ruben?
We're trying to win a national championship here. That's what we're trying to do.
Welcome to the NCAA tournament.
AP's #1 at end of the regular season, won the tournament 3 times since 2000. 2024 Kentucky, 2012 Kentucky, 2024 of UConn, 2012 Kentucky, 2001 Duke.
For number of bids, 14 teams made it, breaking the record. The Big East set in 2011 with 11. Now,
14 SEC bids.
They won a national championship with UConn that year. And speaking of the Huskies, they're going for a three-peat. It'll be the first in more than half a century when UCLA palette won 7 consecutive from 67 to 73. Houston trying to get to the Final Four in its home state in San Antonio.
Last game was 2008.
Teams have reached the Final Four in their home state in the last 50 years. None since Butler in
Alex.
2010, last team to win a title in its home state.
You can cheer on Oregon.
UCLA in 1975. Here are the 1 seeds: Auburn, Duke, Houston, and Florida. 2 from the SEC. And you have 2 more 2 seeds from the SEC. That too also has a checkered history.
Yeah, I don't see. I know the last time it was in San Antonio, right? That's when all 4 seeds, 1 seeds made it. I don't think that happens.
But this whole thing's unpredictable. So which 1 seed you see as the toughest tournament path?
Well, Houston's got a tough path because they would have to get through Tennessee. And I think that Florida St. John's, if it winds up being that, will be difficult. I kind of like
Alex.
frankly, to get to the Final Four. I liked it last year,
Alex.
but I thought Houston would get there, but Jamal Shedd got hurt in that game. But to me, Duke's got a really favorable draw.
I would say the same, too, just because of the guard play there with Bama and BYU. Even Zona, the size of Duke and how they play that shell defense. You talked about it today on our game day show. They stay within a confined space and they use their length, right? And I think for anybody who has smaller guards, even the way they recover in transition, I would favor them in
All
that matchup.
good.
I think probably one of the hardest ones is you talk about just Florida going through the likes of St. John's, that's Texas Tech. I think St. John's is a team that gets to the Final Four, guys, with the way they defend. I'm not saying they have enough scoring power, but man, they are everywhere on defense.
Wow, they're saying St. John's is a team that could get to the Final Four. Do we think that's possible, chat? Do we think that's possible?
And Michigan State down at the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, with Iowa State not having Keyshawn Gilbert, that affects the way I look at them reaching a Final Four, and not necessarily the second weekend. But Michigan State, I really like the draw they got at the bottom of their region.
Midwest to me is the toughest region, and the reason I say it's not
Yeah,
just
guys.
Houston and Tennessee, it's Illinois.
What do we think is the hardest region in the tourney?
I mean, dynamic point guard, size up front, shot making.
Midwest
skill,
looks
I really
tough.
like that.
We touch on this tournament
Some of
history. All
these
that
8-9
has
matchups.
as well. They've lost in the first weekend 4 of their last 5 tournament appearances under Pearl. Of course, the other one, they went to the Final Four in 2019, very close to playing for the national championship. Duke is a 1 seed for the first time since 2019.
West could get pretty crazy.
Seasons. They've been in the preseason top 10 for the Blue Devils with that talented.
Oh, wow, the Tokyo game, that's already this week.
Veterans, couple of transfers that have been really good. Of course, Cooper Flag, ACC Player and Rookie of the Year, joining some other Duke greats, most recently Zion Williamson, who did it in 2019. First time that they've won both the regular season and the tournament. 2010 when they also won.
You think Florida's going to have a tough time in the bracket?
By the name of Shire, who was pretty instrumental in that run, and now he'll try to
I think they can get past Norfolk State. I think it's going to be pretty hard getting it past UConn.
Congratulations on the tournament titles, the number 1 seed.
How do we feel about UConn at an 8 seed, chat?
Run and look at your portion of the bracket. What was the thing that jumped out at you?
Well, I just think first and foremost, we're in the tournament, right? We're a 1 seed, and to be in the East region is great. And I've been in this tournament enough. There's no such thing, at least from our view, our perspective, of a good or bad draw. You just have to take it one game at a time. But could not be more excited for this group and what they've earned and the position we're in.
I know, Taft. Yeah, remind me. Are you? I can't remember. Are you the 20th? Trying to remember. I can't remember, Taft.
Once you start play.
Well, from my perspective, it's full steam ahead. I want to get Coop back as quickly as we can, and he wants to do the same. Obviously tomorrow is important. We had an off day today. We got back late. Where hopefully he can start to progress starting tomorrow with doing some on-court work, and then build up to where he can practice later in the week.
Okay, you're 18th.
So
I don't know why I thought 20th.
No question about it. I know that's his goal as well. We're just going to progress.
You don't think UConn can make a 3-peat? You think they make it to Sweet 16? Let's see. What's the path look like?
In the beginning of the week.
Okay, so getting past Florida. I think that's Oklahoma first.
It can seem so big.
Oklahoma first.
68 teams for the players, and back in the dark ages.
Then against Florida.
Coach K kind of broke it down for us and gave us.
Then probably picking up against Memphis or Maryland here. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
How do you approach it with your team?
So that's a tradition we're carrying forward. That's something we've done, and our guys will see tomorrow.
John Shire has 85 wins with Duke. That's the 4th most by a D1 head coach over their first 3 seasons. That's unbelievable.
On Friday.
I mean, Duke will always forever have great recruiting power, but it was scary to see the transition, what was going to happen.
Obviously, the tournament
right?
talked about so much, but in terms of predictions or in terms of what else is happening, because it's so fragile, and you want to make the most of each moment and just really staying locked.
You don't think UConn's getting past Florida?
Main messaging to the team, and also to enjoy it. You don't get this time back, and so I want our guys to enjoy it as well. But we'll have. It's the only thing we try to do that you guys did as well in your time, Jay, is having the 14 bracket. Besides that, not much else we try to do.
That's a great question, Fishman. Honestly, I don't understand all of it when that happens.
We really appreciate you taking some time to be with us on Bracketology today. Wish you well in the upcoming tournament.
Thank you, guys. All right, you guys.
Good luck, John.
All right, there is John Shire, head coach of the #1 seeded Duke Blue Devils in the East.
This is Bracketology.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Presented by.
You got UNCW over Tech Tech. What does that stand for again?
What do you got there, Larry?
Oh,
That machine?
that's UNC Wilmington, right? That's UNC Wilmington?
Nope. Ellen and I want to go on
Which took me a
vacation,
second.
so I'm going to go back to last week and
Duh.
buy a winning lottery ticket.
Duh.
Can I come? Only room for one. How am I getting home? Sitting on my lap like last time, Ronald.
Fine, but I'm bringing this.
All right.
Or you could try one of these savings options.
The right money moves aren't as far-fetched as you think.
There it is. See? Told you it's going to all work out. Thanks, future me.
You might know our
I love it. Brilliantly boring since 1985.
No, its performance and durability go right along with it. You see, we test, and then we test again. World-class engineering and rigorous testing to ensure our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of time without testing your wallet. Now, it's time for you to put us to the test.
Definitely above our pay grade.
Do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Definitely. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are taking a look at the men's bracket. The women's bracket about to come out here in 23 minutes.
Sorry, I heard checking.
A bit of a misunderstanding.
I meant checking on how we can help save our customers money on their car insurance.
And whether they need car, home, boat, or pet coverage.
Precisely. Now, let's go again. Susan.
Always wanted to do that.
Susan.
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Best day of training so far.
How's your elbow?
It's killing me.
Well, hi, honey. Your mom made your favorite.
So, where's the lucky guy? Mom, Dad, we need to talk. It's Strysky, honey. I thought we were meeting your boyfriend.
No, you both need to set a budget on your sports betting.
Oh my gosh.
Shoot!
Aggravates the stew out of me. Sheesh.
I love this.
Oh, I lied. There's no boyfriend.
At ESPN, we believe the best play is a smart play.
It's Novocaine.
That's weird. Okay. Lightning Data, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community. Wonder if any of the Mountain West teams can do anything this year.
On your own.
They usually have issues in the tournament. I think that kind of falls into seeding this year. You're tuning in Los Angeles? Let's go. Close to me. What up? What up, what up? I am going to pull up FanDuel here. Sorry for the chewing, guys. I'm trying to get rid of this nausea.
When's your project due?
Tomorrow morning.
Once you're done,
Go UCLA, that's right. Go Bruins.
I'll get the glue.
The fastest internet whenever you need it. Prices start at $20 per month when bundled. Go to spectrum.com.
Let me pull up
Switch to Verizon for just
the spreads for you guys.
and get iPhone 6
1 second.
Pro. Get 4 on us.
Apologies. Oh, shoot. I need to change these tags. Damn.
Presented by
Okay. I need to do March Madness. College basketball. Okay. Wow. Sorry for being so boring today, chat. Okay. Oh, they're pulling the chairmans up again. All right, let me get the books up for you guys, so we can look.
Traditionally, we talk to the chair, but one of the issues is North Carolina making the field. Bubba Cunningham is the athletic director at North Carolina. He was not permitted to be part of any of the Carolina discussion. So Keith,
All right, FanDuel, here we come.
while you guys were considering the Tar Heels, and according to what we saw, they were the final.
You think in the women's game it's going to be UCLA, USC? Isn't it so cool to see both programs at the top of their game right now for the women? I know, without Greg Gumbel, it's just sad, simply corny. I love the tributes they've been doing.
A lot of time looking at quad one and certainly recognize the record in quad one, but also when you look at quad two, they're 8-0 in quad two, and so certainly know in quad one they were 1-12, but they're 8-0 in quad.
Okay, let me pull up.
Strength of record,
They had a strong net. They also had a strong lob. And
Here we go.
when you take all those things into consideration, you know, the committee just felt like they should earn that last spot over some of the other teams.
That just still doesn't sound totally right, but okay.
Which they most certainly were on. As a result, too, and as you look at the last 4 teams in, 3 power conference teams, Texas, Xavier, and North Carolina. It seems that
Whoa!
some feeling within the
I'm trying to open this up for you guys.
way a little bit to teams. Maybe if they didn't have the biggest record, big number of losses for Texas. Quad ones that you
Might be a little.
North Carolina. Keith, we'll start with you as it pertains to North Carolina, but Bubba can weigh in here too on the other ones. How much did that factor in the level of schedule that you played within your own conference?
You know, we always talk about strength of schedule, and obviously with North Carolina, that was a really important thing. They went out and played a
Who are my favorite college basketball player? Women's college. I mean, Juju Watkins is. I mean, she's just fans out there to me above everybody. But Lauren Betts is insane.
About a lot, and it's certainly helpful as we evaluate teams.
So probably between Juju and Betts. Then I would print on a bracket. Oh, I know. Women's is a stack of tosses a coin. Coin flip for South Carolina or UCLA. How can you not love what John Staley has done there in South Carolina too, chat? I mean, just unbelievable. Okay. It is weird not watching Caitlin Clark this season. I know. We got so spoiled having her all through the college season and then going straight into WNBA. I mean, it's like her year. Helena Hidalgo, pretty damn good.
And Auburn leading the pack. So just congratulations to them and the SEC and in such an outstanding year, winning 88% of their non-conference games.
That was a big factor for sure. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We appreciate all of the work you've done and for you answering questions on a couple of delicate topics for both of you there.
They look so uncomfortable right now. It's hilarious.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Keith Gill and Bubba Cunningham from the Men's Tournament Selection Committee. You have brackets on the brain. That's what we call bracket brain.
Bracket brain. Love it.
QR code right now to play the Men's Tournament Challenge, the Women's Tournament Challenge also there. We only fill out one bracket around here.
Oh, Unrivaled Players Tournament? That's awesome.
A little over a year ago,
Have they started building Dan Staley's statue yet?
With triple positive breast cancer. Take it from Pam and her Pam Pams. Michael was right. Get them checked, ladies. Caught early, many cancers have survival rates well over 90%. The Screening Time Off program encourages employees to take time to step out for screenings. Be the world's best boss. Join Screening Time Off. Learn more and sign up at workingwithcancerpledge.com.
Wow, Pam looks. She needs to grow her hair back out. Does Paige Beckers win it all her final season? What do you guys think, chat? Can the UConn women come back after 10 years off from winning? Bridget filled out the bracket in 90 seconds. I love it.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it. Not
Obviously, UNC favored here in this first 4-in game against San Diego State.
make the most of it at Best Western.
But definitely going to get a little bit more value here if you're on SDSU's side.
Of course they take Discover. You're stuck in the past. Unlike me.
Well, remember, chat, it was it 2014 when the UConn men and women won it, right? I believe it was 2014. Is that right?
March Madness this Wednesday on the networks of ESPN.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work.
Such a homer. I just did my bracket. Have MSU beating Houston for a title. You did not pick a 12 over a 5. You took two 11s over 6s. Which 11s over 6s did you take? Oh, was it 2011? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It might have been 2011.
For 72 months on this Silverado. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Purdue got overseeded.
Or substance. Somehow.
Yes, UConn men have won it the last 2 years, Santi.
Or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping.
Purdue always disappoints. It's true. It has been a minute since they haven't disappointed.
0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or current eligible GMC owners get over $7,800 total value on select Sierra 1500.
You're watching Bracketology, presented by Lowe's.
Take a look at some bracket.
How about our last 4 in, though, here? Texas, Xavier, right here. North Carolina, SDSU. Indiana and Ohio State, the big 2 teams to be left out, especially with Ohio State having more quad 1 wins when North Carolina literally has 1.
North Carolina has a significant edge. You see the net rank there. North Carolina 36, West Virginia 51. So the first round trends. A first 4 team.
A first 4 team has reached the second round in 12 of the 13 tournaments. Whoa, that's crazy.
A top 4 seed has lost a first round game in 14 of the last 15 tournaments. So all of us filling out our brackets here are chalk-eating weasels, and we know better, but it's hard to find which one it's going to be. 11 seed has won a first round game in every tournament.
An 11 seed has won a first round game in every tournament since 2005.
Last year. But it's less surprising because I don't know if there's a great deal of difference a lot of times between the 6 seeds and some of the 11. So 7 versus 10 matchups. The overall win-loss record, 110 and 70. 10 seeds knocked off a 7 in each of the last 16 tournaments. Here are the 7-10 matchups. Those are pretty much the same to me, too. Which 10s do you like there, Bill?
Which 7s versus 10s do we like? We got Marquette, New Mexico, St. Mary's, Vandy, UCLA, Utah State, Kansas, and Arkansas.
But I would say Vanderbilt and Arkansas on those 2.
Right? It's the new 12 over 5, but it's 11 now.
I mean, they beat Tennessee.
I'm not watching it, Travis. I'm trying to manage one thing at a time.
This would not be a huge upset by any means. Vanderbilt.
I've got a bad headache from this new stuff I'm trying.
They play a style play. They got shot makers. They spread the floor. They got floor gamers. I would not be shocked if they
They run great offense.
Great offense. Yeah.
You picked Kansas and St. Mary's to lose.
Matchup that they have against Marquette. You think about Richard Pitino, Nelly Jr. Joseph, averaging around 11 rebounds per game. In fact, they scored Donovan Dent
and Cam Jones going to be a big time matchup.
They're just so Marquette's just so disruptive. Like their ability to force turnovers and get up and down the floor and score off those turnovers, I certainly would favor them.
Okay, let's look at
Aw, Alex, you're so sweet. And ditto, why don't you give it to yourself so it can be from the both of us?
Sometimes. You also have some power conference teams that wind up being at 11, as NC State was last year, as Carolina is. San Diego State's been to the Final Four in the last couple of years.
Coach Calipari Vaself.
Conference teams. Which 11s do you think
I picked McSneeze first high point for second round. That's what I have as well, Simply Corn. Have we started filling out our brackets? I will have a bracket challenge for our community as well. Do I have any of my mods in here right now?
Offensively, VCU is difficult to play against because they can force a ton of turnovers. They can shoot it and they can play fast as well.
Yeah, West Virginia, you think got hosed? How did 13 teams or whatever make it from the same conference? 14 teams made it from the SEC. 14.
They match up fine with this Illinois team. I mean, Texas has the best player in that game.
I'm the worst with draft predictions, Santi. Yeah. Who's B-Day? My birthday is on Saturday, Kent. Yeah, my birthday's on Saturday. Maybe I'll do a live stream from Arizona briefly for my birthday.
Jamie, just your point on Drake, I think continuity in playing with a system goes a long way. And the fact that 4 players came with Ben McCollum from his 2D2 school, I think that has a lot to go. Mitch Mascari, I think if I said his name correctly, the guy can shoot the ball.
That guy's working as an investment banker, and then all of a sudden, coach.
Need to figure out which of these seed 15s and 16s are gonna knock out 1s and 3s, right?
I did pick them. Yes.
Did you? Okay.
Could happen.
5 over 12 or 12 over 5. Popular up 5 of the last 10 tournaments. Hasn't just happened.
Here, I can pull up the bracket again.
It's happened to
Oh,
multiple
fudge, I forgot.
seeds. Michigan against UC San Diego, longest winning streak in the country for the Tritons. Oregon and Liberty. Liberty with a big season. They play slowly, tough team to play, but Oregon's never lost a first-round game under Dana Altman. Clemson, McNeese, Memphis, Colorado State, Jay Will. Who and how many of these 12 seeds will advance?
I don't know if I have too many. I do have Colorado State. I just think because Nick Clifford is a guy with his size, his length, the way they play, they have bigger guards that can defend. And
play now.
I'm not sure
Hold on.
what the foot issue is or what it will be, but it's something to keep your eye on for your Memphis because that's one of their top leading scores.
Memphis turns.
Damn it! Why?
Colorado State doesn't run good offense. They run great offense. They play with great spacing and they maximize their personnel.
Oh my God! Are we kidding?
Will be all over the floor offensively.
I don't want to do this. Okay.
On the defensive end, I like Colorado State.
And UC San Diego is really interesting. Hayden Gray is the best defensive player in that conference. He started as
I want to see.
from San Diego.
I want to see UCSD go as far as they can. I think that would be huge.
You just said it because you said you crushed it. Hey, I've only got 10 seconds. Do you have a 13, 14, or 15 winning?
No, and no.
I do not.
Any that wouldn't surprise you or be less surprising to you? 13, 14, 15?
Those games are always shockers, aren't they?
I know. They are. Just
near impossible.
Yeah, Peyton Manning picking Omaha to win it all.
It's happened a lot recently. A lot more
Alex.
NCAA women's selection.
You think Omaha's the most likely 15 to bounce to 2? Okay, so Omaha is playing.
We know all those people. Charlie, where are you going?
Oh my God. St. John's. That's right. No, I think St. John's wins. I really do.
Isn't always obvious.
Eczema isn't always red. But now, eczema isn't always going to stop you.
With Eblis.
26.3% of people on ESPN are picking Duke to win it all.
With moderate to severe eczema, find real
Kent, what about me? What about me? It's my birthday on Saturday too.
1 year.
Kidding.
Don't use if you're allergic to Eblis. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems.
The thing is, when these smaller schools play the big schools and upset them, it's because the bigger schools play system. Right. While these small schools play pick up ball. Totally, it's a different game.
Still more clear? Even after 1 year? Clearly, it's possible. With Eblis.
That's awesome, Stacka.
Doctor about Eblis for eczema.
Yeah, who's American playing?
You an open seat in Formula One. The only place you could say if you win, you are the absolute best in the world.
If the last thing I do is drive that car, I will take that life, man.
You have Yale going to Sweet 16. They are tough. They are tough. Do you guys want me to pull this back up again? Or are you okay? Do you want to see it or no?
I'm ready for my life to change.
Give it your all. Good luck. Cut off the golden ticket.
Let's hear it.
This show is for people that have the talent, have the dream, and they just need a chance.
ABC Hockey Saturday from CC.
The Golden Knights and the Red Wings. Walking from the bad angle to that goal. Unbelievable. Michael has a step on ahead and he scores.
Red Wings Golden Knights today, Saturday on ABC and ESPN Plus.
They dropped 90 today. Who did they play in the Ivy League? God, my headache is so bad right now. I'm having trouble seeing the screen.
I'm a customer in the scenario.
Women's bracket coming out here in 5 minutes. And then after that, I'm going to get in a dark room and
Great, apply coverages because you never
put an ice pack on my head.
surprise you with at
90 miles per hour.
Did Coach say 90?
Push him up there.
You've got this, Glenn.
Am I gonna feel this?
Glenn. Freaking Glenn. Let me see. Where are you?
Get more with Geico.
Oh, he's moving.
Meet Ron. Ron eats, sleeps, and breathes hoops.
Us? Not us.
And there's not a no-look pass, double-double, or a buzzer beater he won't wax poetic on ad nauseum. But oh, how he can nail
Oh
a
my God.
software solution like the best high-screen
Thanks.
pick and roll
I'm
you've
trying
ever
something
seen.
new right now,
You need
Banks, so
Ron.
it's kind of one of those,
Ron's
like,
a retirement plan. Work
it's
with
my
Principal
body's getting
so
used
he
to
can
it
help
things, you
help
know?
Ron with a retirement and benefits plan that's
5
built
minutes
in.
into the women's draw. 5 minutes.
Expertise, round out yours.
Let's do an NAT bracket. Corny.
Bracketology is presented by Lowe's.
They have that DNA.
You save.
I mean, do we see a world though where UConn gets stopped early by like Florida, since Florida's a 1 seed?
MVP against Giannis. Let's go.
You've dropped 40 pounds since October, Stocka. That's amazing. Congratulations.
This is what everybody really wants. This is our favorite part of the show. That way everybody can get on the X machine and say, as soon as one of the games goes wrong, look at these knuckleheads and all the games they missed. Let's go from regional final to Final Four, championship game, and who wins it all?
Put it up on the screen. Let's go.
see it.
Let's do it, guys. Here we go. Elite Eight.
All right, let's see what Jay Williams got.
Auburn, Michigan.
What's that Elite Eight? Auburn, Michigan State,
St. John's, Houston, Tennessee.
Duke, Alabama, Florida, St. John's, Houston, Tennessee. A lot of people have St. John's going pretty darn far.
Duke and Houston, that's going to be a tough game. Ultimately, Florida beating
Yeah, you can't be eating that McDonald's.
beating Houston because of the Cooper Cup.
Their coach would scare me. Dan Hurley would scare you? Yeah.
Florida's my national champion.
It's the head.
As of right now, I think their guard play is truly.
A lot of people have Florida going all the way to win it against Duke.
All right, so you've got Florida as a champion. I'm starting to feel like there might be a theme coming here.
Oh, no.
No, I know, man. I'm telling you.
Here we go. I've got Auburn against Michigan State. I got Michigan State winning that game. Florida and Texas Tech. I've got Florida winning that game. Duke and Alabama. Alabama with some injuries. I've got Duke advancing. Houston and Tennessee.
How are you feeling about Texas Tech?
That's a toughness.
Only number one. You didn't advance to Final Four as Houston, took Tennessee instead.
Against Florida, I got the Gators.
I'm with you.
And then I got the Gators winning the most complete team in college basketball in this moment in time.
You know what happens when we do this, Seth?
Yeah, I know.
Vegas is
What do you
gonna
guys
pay
think,
us.
chat?
It's just-
What do you guys think, chat? Florida, are they the most complete team in men's college basketball?
3 Jewish coaches in the Final Four, but we only got 3 Jewish coaches in the number 1 line.
There you go.
Only 3.
What do you got?
It was really difficult to do this. Like, I had St. John's as a Final Four team coming in, but they're in Florida's bracket, and that makes it really difficult. So I love Michigan State.
Any chance St. John's can get over Florida?
The Elite Eight. Alabama, I'm a little concerned about because of Grant Nelson's health. And then Tennessee, Houston's going to be a slugfest. I just happen to think that Florida's best.
I know, it'd be awesome, right, big boy? That'd be so special.
Auburn and Duke advancing.
You think Duke is a big favorite?
Best defensive team. They're going to go
Right? Winning the ACC, seriously, winning the conference without Flag and Brown was huge. Huge.
Florida advancing, and I think it's going to be Florida and Houston in the championship game.
Oh my God, everybody has Florida.
Houston's offense this
Everybody
year,
across the board.
Florida play. You know, you could have calling them Noah's Ark and everything.
Noah's Ark to
The
everything.
size of their front line and the fact that they're like an unbelievable hockey
As
team.
76ers fan, I want to capture the flag.
Here is my bracket play. Very similar. Chalk eating weasels here. 1-2 seeds. I do have Michigan State knocking off Auburn and making it.
I don't understand the draft lottery as well, but
Florida. I have Duke and Houston coming out. Duke beating Alabama. Houston beating Tennessee.
it's been rough. No, you guys have had it rough, for sure. For sure.
Florida in San Antonio and make it 4-4.
Is there any recency bias considering the SEC tournament?
Walter Clayton Jr., SEC tournament MVP, Todd Golden, remarkable job as coach. All I can say is we're very
All right, time for the women's bracket reveal, chat. We ready? We ready?
They're a great team. Maybe it'll be Tennessee. What a great time we've
See if there's any straight up bets I like here.
To the NCAA Women's Selection
All right, Women's Selection Sunday. Here we go, baby. Let's go.
For 31 teams, the stage is already set. Tickets punched, automatic bids secured, celebrations abound after winning their respective conferences. But tonight, 37 others await their fate. In Indianapolis, the committee's been in the war room, crunching numbers, weighing resumes, deciding the path to the ultimate end goal. That being Tampa, Florida, host city for this year's Final Four.
Oh, it's in Tampa.
With one mission.
Final Four for the women is in Tampa.
That trophy.
Look at that sparkly basketball. I love it.
This is the greatest time of year.
Don't shy away from it, embrace it. LA's finest.
I love playing with this team. I love playing at UConn.
To the big dance.
The ascent to the top of the summit.
Which figure y'all put y'all ring on? Believe big, George Mason.
It's indescribable. Hundreds, thousands of people dream of being in.
This is awesome.
The chemistry we have, it wins games in these tight moments. I couldn't be more proud.
But if it's gonna be a winner, why not us?
Mike Drop Malaysia.
We want to do it for each other. We want to win for each other. I see y'all. I hear y'all.
Ticket punch going, dancing.
Confetti flying. The tears are rolling.
March Madness, anything can happen.
Well, you are looking live at watch parties for various teams across the country, awaiting to hear their paths. For some, their fate's still uncertain. Others are just sitting back. They know their name will be called. It's just a matter of where and who stands in their way. The bracket is built. Matchups are locked. The path to a
There was so much drama in the women's tournament last year. I feel like nothing can compare. You know, I know. Look at all those watch parties, right? Look at them.
But cue anxiety because it is absolutely real on the set. Hello and welcome to our selection show. I'm so excited to have my fantastic friends alongside me. I am Elle Duncan. We've got the Swiss Army knife and former Lady Vol in Andrea Carter. We've got a pair of Hall of Famers because that's how big that the night is. Carolyn Peck, Rebecca Lobo. If there was a Hall of Fame for bracketology, Charlie Cream, no doubt you would be in it. And because two isn't enough, we have another Hall of Famer in Holly Rowe who's standing by. She's way too humble to look down on anybody, but she's literally doing that tonight as she stands atop. She's going to be bringing us exclusive interviews all night long as we get live reaction to the official field. Over 5,800 games.
Getting real, right?
played in D1 this season, and it all comes down
Right?
to
It's going to be interesting to see the ratings for this year's women's tourney versus last year's. I
We're
know.
gonna see where rematches happen. Rematches from last season's tournament, rematches
Crazy.
from incredibly exciting games that we had this season. Think about USC UConn. Think about Notre Dame Texas. Where do we see those rematches in this tournament?
Well, I'm looking forward, Drea. You're talking about placement of the SEC. When you look at how tough the SEC was this year, and Charlie, you said that possibly 6 would host. What will the committee do with those 6 teams? Will all 6 be able to host these first rounds?
Coming into this, we've looked at UConn as a potential 2 seed. Who is their 1 seed? You do not want UConn as their 2 seed. Last year, they made it to the Final Four as a 3 seed. In 2022, they made it to the Final Four as a 2 seed. Who is the 1 seed if they end up being that 2 seed?
Yeah, that's true. UConn going to the Final Four back-to-back as a 2 seed. You don't want to be the 1 seed in that division, in that region.
1 seeds are going to be, but in what order are they going to be? Because that's going to dictate the matchups that we see down the road in the tournament.
I gotta say, after last year, one storyline I'm excited not to have to watch is me messing up Albany. Internet is not kind to me about that, but I do know how to pronounce both of these regionals, and we are ready to reveal the field again. Let's take a look at that bracket and the road to Tampa, Champa Bay, as it's affectionately called. We've got stops in Spokane, Washington, and Birmingham, Alabama, before, of course, heading to Tampa for the national semis on April 4th, and then we will crown a champ on April 6th. Everyone at home, all the watch parties are like, Elle, enough, lay out, let's start revealing the field, and here we go. Your number 1 overall.
All right, here we go. Number 1 overall seed for the women. Who's it going to be? It's the Bruins, the UCLA Bruins.
You see that reaction for the first time in program history, RL.
For the first time in school history. Wow.
They overcame a 13-point deficit in the third quarter, of course, led by Lauren Betts and her near 20 per game. But also in that game, they made the first 5 threes that they took, had the inside-out balance.
They're taking selfies, they're looking at each other, they are hype, and they will play the winner of UC San Diego Tritons or the Southern Jaguars in our first 4 games. So again, your number 1
Nice.
overall seed.
No, not USC. They will most likely be also a 1 seed, but they're not the 1 seed overall.
Do you see, can you hear us? Maybe not, but we know that you're excited.
Can you hear us?
You're in. Yes, okay.
They're confused. I love it.
9 matchup. We've got the 8-seeded
All right, so we're on Region 1, Spokane. UCLA, the 1 seed, playing UCSD or Southern, the winner of that game.
Your 9 seed, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I have to give some credit to Georgia Tech. 22
So the 8 seed here in this region going to be Richmond, 9 seed Georgia Tech.
Eyes are on the freshman, Danny Carnegie, ACC 6th Woman of the Year in her first NCAA tournament. Congrats to the Yellow Jackets.
Congrats. They'll be playing on Friday on that 8-9 matchup. That's for our 4-13 matchup.
All right, as for our 4-13 matchup, Baylor, of course, the Bears.
A little bit muted for a Baylor team that certainly made a run last year. And in that matchup, they'll be facing the 13 seed Grand Canyon.
All right, it'll be Baylor against Grand Canyon.
First 31 season in program history.
Oh, that looks like a much more lively party. That looks like a much more fun party.
To those lips. We move on to our 5-12 matchup. And at the 5 position, we've got the Ole Miss Rebels. CP.
Ole Miss, they finished the regular season. They knocked off LSU.
All right, for at the 5 and 12 matchup, we got Ole Miss in Lady Rebels. That's a big old watch party.
It's going to have the Rebels in the dance. They're going to be highly motivated.
Yeah, Coach Yo looks like she's motivated.
And let's see, who's the 12 seed that we're picking up? We are watching the women's bracket reveal here.
In that 12-seeded matchup, Ball State.
They're going to be playing Ball State.
Since 2009, they are dancing again after their 3rd straight 25-win season. Congratulations to those Cardinals. You'll be
Let me see.
in the first round.
I should do this, maybe. Let's see.
Friday, we move down to the bottom of the
Oh, here, I can have this up. All right, here's what I'll do. All right, perfect.
Matchup. It's the LSU Tigers, the only team to have 3 players with 500 points in Anissa Morrow, Michaela Williams, and Flajé Johnson. They've got a big 3, and they find themselves in that 3 spot.
Yeah, I wonder if their big 3 can play an unrivaled. They're that good. But the health of them is what is the big question mark. Is Flajé Johnson going to be healthy? She did not play in the SEC tournament. Anissa Morrow got banged up in the SEC tournament. If they're 100%, LSU can use.
They're wearing 2 boots.
They're wearing 2 boots, but for now, there are a few days until they face the
All right.
14th seed, which is the San Diego State Aztecs. 25 wins, which is the most in over 12. We love
Oh my God,
it.
they're screaming.
They love it. Ticket punched. Congratulations to the Aztecs. 3rd conference tournament title. Also
Anyone else find it funny that Grand Canyon University is Phoenix? Right? I know.
on Saturday as we move down to the rest of the bracket for Spokane 1. In your 6-11 matchup, it's Florida State. Florida State.
All right, this needs to refresh.
Offense tied for 2nd in D1 in scoring, and they're led by the nation's leading
Make sure it's
scorers,
not. Okay.
Anaya Latson, and Florida State's gonna make it run.
All right, this is our live bracket we got up here, chat.
Absolute bucket.
Revealed.
Fantastic feel-good story for you. Florida State going to be facing the 11 seed George Mason Patriots, who are dancing for the first time in program history.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats to George Mason. George Mason women going dancing for the first time in program history.
To her dad, who's going through hospice. So I know this is a woman that has got her focus on.
27 wins, most in program history. Congratulations to those Patriots who are dancing for the first time. As we move on, we've got our 2-15 matchup. Number 2 seeded NC State under Westmore, making their 30th tournament appearance. Okay, and you know NC State, they don't dance. This was probably practiced on TikTok. We love it, ladies.
This is an NC State team that plays a 4-guard lineup. Those starting 4 guards average 71% of their offense, but it could
That's a light.
be big.
Yeah, UCLA does have a cakewalk. I know. Looking at this region, right?
Why aren't you dancing?
Right, yep, I see you tonight.
LSU could pose problems
Okay. And NC State will be
once they get,
Vermont Catamounts.
There.
1-7 all time in the NCAA tournament games. They last won in 2010, but they have only allowed 52 points per game this season. That's the 4th fewest in D1. They are leaning on that defense, and they'll need to when they face a very good
Vermont. Wow, a 15th seed. Playing number 2 NC State, who's always son in the country.
They lead the Big Ten in points per game, off turnovers, business trip. They're like, all right, we'll do a little golf clap here for you. Congratulations. They'll be facing 10-seeded Harvard, which is a fantastic story, CP. 24 wins most in program history.
Wow, good for Harvard. 24 wins most in program history.
She had a good bounce-back game against Princeton where she had 15 points in the earlier game in the
Ooh, yeah, Florida State's a dangerous 6. Yeah, that's true. They just bounced Notre Dame.
For the people in the back. So there it is. We just revealed Spokane won. You take a full look at this field, and again, your number 1 overall seed, UCLA.
All right, so the Spokane 1 region.
Their tournament action on Friday.
Here's what we're looking at. UCLA open as the 1 seed versus the winner of UCSD Southern. Then you got Richmond, Georgia Tech as an 8-9 game. 5-12 is Ole Miss, Ball State. 4-13 is Baylor, Grand Canyon. 6-11 is Florida State, George Mason. 3-14 is LSU versus SDSU. 7-10 is Michigan State versus Harvard. And 2-15 is NC State versus Vermont.
But I do like UCLA's path.
That's one of the things I'm going to focus on. If seeds hold and UCLA ended up playing NC State, as good as NC State's backcourt is, where they can be thin at times, is in
You'd love to beat Kim Mulkey on the way. I think a lot of people would. You think the Bruins are beatable, Nick? Really?
Again, if seeds hold, Trigger will be very, very key.
Will the Ivy League get 3 teams? Oh, you think?
You've got Timpson at Florida State. She is a shot-blocking machine. If there's anybody that can defend the paint and cause a problem, it could be her.
I think another thing when we talk about teams and rematches, right? LSU is not necessarily a team that has a lot of size, but where LSU could have an edge is confidence. We saw UCLA and LSU last season in the tournament. LSU got the win. Flau'jae Johnson absolutely shined. Now, 2 completely different teams, 2 entirely new seasons. But when I talk about potential for rematches, that's a big one that if things go according to seeding, we could see that one, and that one could be fun.
I do want to mention as well how big winning the Big Ten championship was for UCLA, right? A team that had lost to USC twice find themselves as the number 1 overall seed, in large part because they were able to take care of business in that conference tournament. Are we ready to move on?
I love that we have
and reveal the rest
former
of
Pac-12 teams winning the Big Ten this year.
I'm from the South. I know you can call it B-Ham. Who is the number 1 seed in the Regional 2 Birmingham region? And it is South Carolina.
Wow, they look so excited.
Had to really learn how to play without a Camilla.
They look so excited.
They have a 3-headed monster in the post with Chloe Kitts, Sanaya Fagan, and Joyce Edwards. So you have that to go with the stellar guards and the defense Don Staley brings. South Carolina could look to repeat.
Certainly, and we will see who they face.
They look so excited. Not.
It's a business trip always for South Carolina. They've been here before.
Biggest one was to avoid South Carolina. Yeah.
4 NCAA tournament wins, most recently in 2020.
Look at the difference between, former champs just sitting there like, yeah, we know we're in, we know we're number 1, and then look at Tennessee Tech.
Congratulations. That matchup we will see on Friday. In terms of our 8-9 matchup, congratulations to the 8-seeded Utah Utes. Gavin Peterson in his first season there took over for Lynn Roberts, who left 4 games into the season, and they are dancing nonetheless. You see the reaction there.
Good for the Utah women.
Congratulations to those Utes.
Good for the Utah ladies.
Facing 9-seeded Indiana, who's making their 6th straight tournament appearance. They're 1 win shy of their 10th straight 20-win season. And this team
There's where Indiana's going to get in with the women.
Old Big Ten leads the team in scoring with over 14.5 points per game. That's a game we'll see on Friday. Let's move on.
Let's
to
see.
Our 4-13
Oh, here we go.
matchup.
All right.
Sitting at that 4 position, it's the Maryland Terrapins.
Maryland getting to host in College Park. That's
All right.
good news. Brenda Freese put together
Wow, Maryland, yeah, getting to host.
transfers, then they suffered
Oh, thanks, Nick. Yeah, it's a good time to be a Duck, man.
First and second round games in College Park.
And listen, Brenda Freese is as good as they come and NCAA tournament openers.
Put 100 on Michigan to win the Big Ten tourney. You did? At plus 180.
And what a season for those Spartans. Their first 30-win season since moving to D1 in 1997-98. And an
Hey,
amazing
Akula.
Diamond Johnson, who gets MEAC Player of the Year and leads the conference in scoring. That's a matchup that we will see on Saturday. In our 5-12 matchup in Birmingham 2, your 5-seed Alabama Crimson.
Easy money. I love it. Love it, J-Mac. Yeah, we're going to get to all of our betting on the tournament this week.
4 teams with 3 players that are averaging 15 points per game. The others
Probably do that Wednesday night. I'll keep you guys posted on social media.
In the 12-seed matchup, Green Bay Phoenix. 29
Green Bay Phoenix, what?
Since 2017-18 at your 5-12 matchup. And we'll see that one on Saturday coming to us from College Park.
Casual 22-game win streak.
Is that it? Just a casual
22-game win streak.
In our 3-14 matchup, we start with 3-seeded North Carolina making their 32nd NCAA tournament appearance.
Yeah, North Carolina, a team I'm looking at, Alyssa Usby and Renaya Kelly. They missed some games late in the season, then they came back. Those two, huge for this North Carolina Tar Heels team. Charlie, you mentioned transfers, you mentioned young players. That's also what North Carolina is made of.
They look so young.
Face in that 14 seed, the West Coast Conference champion.
It is, Nick.
State Beavers AC, who I know you're really high on.
Very high on this Oregon State team, in particular because of the coaching job Scott Rulick has done. This is a team that lost 82% of their scoring from last season. There are multiple starters from
Well,
Oregon
good for
State
the Beavers.
playing on other teams in this exact same field. So great job by Oregon State.
Good for Oregon State women.
Beginning of the season that was rough, and they figured it out along the way.
Congratulations, North Carolina, Oregon State. We'll see you on Saturday in that first round opener as we move on down the bracket here in Birmingham 2. Your 6-11 matchup, sitting in that 6th position, it's the West Virginia Mountaineers, and man, will they rely on defense. They lead the Big 12 in points per game.
Bye, Fishman. Yes, make sure. I will update you guys in Discord and Instagram and Twitter on next stream. I'm hoping it'll be Wednesday. I'll update you guys. Right, at least the Oregon State women can do things.
Huskies for Columbia, their 2nd tournament appearance. They also made it last year for
Oh, congratulations to Columbia. That's awesome.
Season since 2016-17. That was Kelsey Plum's senior season. So we will get that matchup on Saturday. As you take a look at your 6-11 matchup, we move right along to our 2-15 matchup. Sitting in that 2 position, man, your winners of the ACC, it's Duke.
And Duke has some stingy defense. When you look at what they did in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, Duke women, how about it? Indiana women is in. Indiana women is in. Serpico, yeah. Indiana women.
62. Their offense is working as well, and I think the addition of the freshman, Toby Fournier, she has been huge for them to be a presence inside.
It's going to be a good strength versus strength when you look at their
Yeah.
opponents sitting in the
No, the Indiana men did not make it in. Did not make it in.
Their first NCAA tournament win. We see the reaction. It sort of looks like stop animation a little bit, but we love that from you. They lead the Patriot League in points per game, paint points per game, and points per game off turnovers. So it could be a battle of strength in that 2-15 matchup, a game that we'll see on Friday. And as we close out Birmingham 2, our 7-10 matchup, I'm going to do this for my husband at home. Go Doors, go. Your 7-seeded Vanderbilt.
How about the job that Shea Ralph has done in her 4th season? Vanderbilt has the highest scoring duo in the country.
Vanderbilt rounding out that region in Birmingham.
Average 44 points a game, but it could be Ayanna Moore, who is the key to this.
That's true, Nick. Maybe.
As the 3rd musketeer.
Maybe.
Anchor down.
Anchor down, baby.
You knew CP was going to jump in.
You know she was going to. In terms of who they'll face in that first round, sitting at the 10th seed, it is the Oregon Ducks. Deja Kelly leads the team in scoring.
Let's go Ducks, baby.
So you see the reaction there from Eugene. That will be your 7-10 matchup, Vanderbilt and Oregon. So you take a look.
Vandy and Oregon. All right, we got work to do. Go Ducks, baby. Definitely a winnable game, yeah.
1 seed in that bracket being South Carolina. I have to note that when we saw South Carolina's watch party Again, this is a team that has been the #1 overall seed.
They did not look excited. South Carolina did not look excited.
Should South Carolina feel some type of way about not getting that #1 overall seed, Charlie?
I do. I thought they should have been the #1 overall seed. More quad 1 wins than any team in the country. The toughest schedule that anybody played in the country. When you win more big
Oh, they wanted the #1 overall. Yeah, Kelly Graves is a great
I think
coach.
that warrants getting the #1 overall seed. But now you've given Dawn Staley and her crew just a little bit more motivation. I don't know if the rest of the field wants Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks having more motivation.
But if you look at the bracket as a whole and you're South Carolina or South Carolina fan, there's not necessarily a team here whose style or makeup makes you feel any kind of trepidation. You feel pretty good matchup.
Yeah, this is actually a really good region. South Carolina can breeze through this region here.
That's the point that I was going to make as to why they would be the #1 overall seed, is the way that they look and how dominant they have been as of late.
Okay, we will break this down as after we do our reveal show. We've got another full hour for you on E2, so we're really going to get into the machinations and really go after it. But we have yet to reveal half of the field, and we'll do exactly that when we come back. Look at all these teams awaiting to hear if
Oh, look at all those schools.
they will slot in. The selection
Ready.
continues after this. Stick around.
Ohio State is a watch party.
Selection special is presented by Capital One. What's in your
Notre Dame, Texas Notre Dame probably gets a 3. So I think, what do you think our other 1 seeds are? Definitely USC, which I don't know which region this is.
Uh-oh, Chuck, someone's ball hogging our airspace.
And then, yeah, in Texas. And then UConn probably going to be a 2 seed. So they're going to either have to deal with USC or Texas in their way. Hawaii made it again, the Big West. Right? By the way, NCAA, please go back to for regional sites. I don't get it. Why? Like, why did this happen?
And control over your anxiety and depression. It starts with small steps. A tap at forhers.com. A new part of your routine. A little moment for you. Coming together to make big changes. Through Hers, you can get access to personalized treatment plans for weight loss, hair loss, anxiety, and more. Connect with a licensed medical provider today. Get started at forhers.com.
Dan, thank you so much for the 100 biddies, for the ditties. Thank you very much. We are watching the Women's Selection Sunday show here, getting ready for March Madness to tip off.
Told you you'd know the best spot.
The all-new Nissan Armada, starting at $56,500.
Notre Dame or Texas?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce me.
Which you do you want to be today? At TJ Maxx, you can afford to turn your closet into a place of endless expression. With the quality you deserve, styles you crave, and prices you love. Max, what makes you, you.
Yeah, it fell apart down the stretch. Yeah. No, I don't think it will be Notre Dame, but... Oh, shoot. I have to... Kent Rock, thank you so much for the gifted sub.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Selection Special, presented by
Kent, what color do you want to change the mic to? That was very, very nice. Thank you very much. We have the rest of the second half of the bracket for the ladies to fill out. And then your girl is going to get in a dark room and put an ice pack to her head.
Official dance, but we have yet to reveal all of the field. We'll do that now. Regional 3, Birmingham. Your number 1 seed in that region.
Number 1 seed in Birmingham.
Texas, one of the toughest defensive teams in the country, and they have one of the best young talents in the country in Madison Booker, the SEC.
All right, so Region 3, we have Texas as the 1 seed. No surprise. I'm trying to find. Hi, sweetheart.
She certainly can. Be on alert.
Hi, baby.
Yeah. They'll face the winner of either High Point Panthers.
Okay, so they'll play the winner of High Point and William and Mary.
High Point, it's their second tournament appearance, first since 2021. We see the celebrations. Hey, we bouncing. We bouncing. And for William and Mary, their first tournament appearance in program history. Congratulations to Coach Erin Dickerson-Davis in her 3rd season leading her team.
Oh, that's so sweet, Nick.
The tournament. Next up, our 8th
What you doing, Luna?
seed in Birmingham 3. Illinois fighting.
Yeah, Lady Tripes look good.
10th NCAA tournament appearance. They're second in the last.
Maryland can get far.
Second 20-win season. Last 3 seasons prior to that.
I mean, not Maryland. Oh my God.
07-08. We like that consistency. That's for who they'll face in the first round. Your 9 seed, the Creighton Blue Jays, led by head coach Jim
I'll have to look here if they did. All right, Illinois and Creighton women playing each other. Let me refresh this. Maybe.
So it fits. Fair. It's very on the nose. Well done, Dre. As for your 4-13 matchup, 4 seed in Birmingham 3, it's the Ohio State Buckeyes. Yet again, a 25-win season, 4 straight.
Well, at least the Ohio State women made it.
History. And you see Cody McMahon.
At least there's that.
Leads the team in points per game. As for their matchup, they'll face the 13th-seeded and Big Sky champion Montana State Bobcats. First 30-win season in program history. They have to, I think, take the cake for biggest crowd at the reveal party. Look at the watch party. So much support.
Yeah, Montana State Bobcats. Wow, look at that watch party in Bozeman.
Well done. They say everything's bigger in Montana than they mean it. They got it all. There it is. That is your 4-13 matchup. That's for your 5-12 matchup.
All right, who's the 5-12?
Dre, it's the Lady Balls.
Yeah, this is a Tennessee team that leads the country in points per game.
What a sad, small Tennessee party.
But they struggled towards the end of the season. Lost 3 out of their last 4 games. So Tennessee looking to rally. They were in the conversation to host. They're going to have to go on the road for the tournament.
If you've never seen Tennessee play, it's such an interesting style of play. We will get into that. In terms of their matchup, 12 seed in Birmingham 3, it's the South Florida Bulls.
All right, they're playing South Florida, right? That was bad.
Title as the American champion.
Isn't it crazy how these teams that just have never played before, like
11 seed, anybody has 12 seed, anybody is going to face.
Oh, we love that. We love that. As we move
that
on.
matchup,
That's
one.
You're into it.
Contrasting style.
Hi, Victor. How are you?
In terms of the bottom of the bracket, we move on to our 3-4.
She is very impressive.
Number 3, it's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. A little bit of a surprise here. That
All right.
they fell to the 3 line.
Yeah, here Notre Dame falling. Not just a 2. Notre Dame. I thought Notre Dame women would be a 2 seed. They fell to 3. Yeah, and it probably because of that stumble down the stretch here.
Is really going to help them to get them to regroup after that tough finish to the season.
They've got Hannah Hidalgo, the ACC Player of the Year, 4th in D1 in scoring. In terms of who they'll face, at the 14th seed, it's the Southern Conference champions. It's Stephen F. Austin. We see ya, the Lady Jacks. How y'all doing? You hear us? There we go.
Oh.
Just a little bit of a delay. We love it. Congratulations. That 3-14 matchup, a game that we'll see on Friday. In terms of our 6-11 matchup, 6th seed in Birmingham 3, it's the Michigan Wolverines. And they lean on youth. 50.
I love that they're just at someone's house.
Freshman, which is most in D1. They have 20 wins in 13 of their last 14 seasons. The consistency.
I love the Michigan girls are just at someone's couch.
In their matchup, 11-seeded Iowa State Cyclones or the Princeton Tigers. Iowa State 23rd tournament.
Iowa State or Princeton.
They of course have Audie Crooks, who captured the nation last year, all Big 12 first team, facing Princeton and their 12th NCAA tournament appearance.
It's just crazy, the different teams, the different, like, vibes, you know?
Friday. Your 2-15 matchup in Birmingham 3 in that 2 seed, it's TCU. 31 wins, first 31 CP.
Congratulations to Mark Hamill, Big 12 Coach
All right,
of the Year.
TCU women getting a bid here.
Transfers out of the 14, and he
Big
was
old
able
watch
to go
party.
on
Love
and
to
win
see it.
the
Love to see it.
championship.
Look at that crowd.
Congratulations, Horned Frogs.
Just so much support. That
As
is
a 2 seed, no surprise.
in their 15 seed, Fairleigh Dickinson, making
They're
his
playing
first
Fairleigh
NCAA
Dickinson.
tournament appearance. Congratulations.
We saw the men in there a while ago. The women are now
and figuratively. That's your 215 matchup in Birmingham.
with their first appearance for the school.
Birmingham 3 with our 7-10 matchup.
Hold on, let me let.
In that 7th seed, it's the Louisville Cardinals with head coach Jeff Walton's 18th season, making their 14th straight tournament appearance. They will face at the 10th position, Nebraska Cornhuskers, leading the big team in threes made per game. 17th straight tournament appearance for those Huskers. And again, Regional 3 Birmingham. Let's take a full look at that bracket. Your 1 seed on that side.
Okay, never mind. She doesn't need to go. It's hard to know because she has so many accidents right now. So
For the most part, has been Notre
Sedona
Dame.
Princess, she's still playing. I feel like she's been playing forever.
Number 1 in AP and now fall to the 3 line. Just your reaction at their pass.
I think it's going to be, for Notre Dame, it's going to be tough, but I think this time off will be good.
Louisville, Nebraska. That'll be a good 7-10 game.
The key to Notre Dame and them advancing has to be their defense.
Bracket is definitely loaded.
And make that a priority. If they do and get back to playing the defense they were playing earlier in the season, Notre Dame could cause some problems.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when I watch Notre Dame defensively, absolutely. Behind Hannah Hidalgo, they have to have things under control. And as far as their defensive chemistry goes, they've got to get on the same page. But then they faced Duke in the ACC tournament, and their offense, they couldn't buy a bucket in that game. So I can imagine the committee being having some struggles when they look at this Notre Dame team.
Notre Dame in December and January was playing like the best basketball team in the country, and Hannah Hidalgo was the leader for National Player of the Year in that time frame. Watch out if they can recapture what they had going in December and January.
They will certainly be a team that can make some noise. As for us, we've got one more Region 2 reveal.
One more region to
get
go.
on the other side, but so far, what's our best reaction?
Right, Region 3 is the group of death. Yeah.
I see you.
Princeton was
Vandy.
Princeton was excited.
Vandy's into
TCU
it.
had the crowd.
TCU has the best crowd, I think, for sure. As our selection show continues, we'll reveal the final field.
Yeah, that's why I was confused, Pierre. I'm like, I was pretty sure I saw them in there. Yeah, so taking a look here, here's Region Spokane 1. You got UCLA as the overall number 1 seed, facing the winner of UCSD or Southern. And then you got Richmond, Georgia Tech as an 8-9 game. Ole Miss, Ball State 5-12. 4-13 is Baylor, Grand Canyon. 6-11 is Florida State, George Mason. LSU, SDSU is 3-14. 7-10 Michigan State versus Harvard. 2-15 NC State versus Vermont, who always poses NC State always poses a problem, but Vermont has a pretty damn tough defense. I know it's a little hard to see here, but it's a little hard to stretch this thing out. South Carolina, obviously pissed they didn't get the number 1 overall seed. They're going to face Tennessee Tech. But they are the Lady Gamecocks are the 1 seed of Birmingham region. And then 8-9 game is Utah versus Indiana. At least somebody from Indiana got in. Then for 5-12, you got Alabama, Green Bay. There it is. 4-13, Maryland, Lady Terps against Norfolk State. 6-11, you got West Virginia women versus the winner of Columbia, Washington, UW. Then the 3 seed North Carolina ladies against Oregon State women. And the 7-10 game, Vandy versus my Lady Ducks. And then the 2-15 game here in Birmingham is Duke Lehigh. You think, yeah, oh my God, that's right. Yeah, USC and UConn gonna be in the same region again. Yeah. I really thought they'd end up being with Texas. So this region's gonna be tough.
As well as financial literacy coaching, because almost everyone is going pro in something other than sports. The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes.
Switch to Verizon for just $25 a line and get iPhone 6. Get 4 on us.
I have prepared a Thomas's breakfast for you to savor together.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, our English.
So yeah, you got in Birmingham 3. You got Texas as the 1 seed versus William and Mary or HPU. I don't know what that is. And then the 8-9 game is Illinois versus Creighton. 5-12 is Tennessee versus South Florida. 4-13 is Ohio State Montana State. 6-11 is Michigan State versus Iowa, the winner of Iowa State or Princeton. And then Notre Dame, surprisingly, dropping all the way down to a 3 seed. I thought I'd see them end up at a 2 versus, I don't know what SFA is. What is that? Oh, Stephen Fuff and Austin or something.
It's a light gel formula. It goes deep, so you don't have to.
7-10 game, we got Louisville versus Nebraska. 2 seed here is TCU versus FDU at 15. Right? You'd be pissed that UConn's in your region? I know. Do you guys think that comes down to how they fared down the stretch in the Big Ten championship? I mean, you know what I mean. I was close, Nick. It's about to get real in Spokane over here, chat. Spokane 4. Woo-wee! We're waiting.
With 13 quad 1 wins. You don't have to wait long. Your final number 1 seed is those
USC Trojans. Let's go. Fight on, ladies.
You saw the quality wins on that resume. And we all talk about, and we should, Juju Watkins plenty. And she is the best player in the country. But it's their defense. Number 1 in the Big Ten in defensive efficiency. I think that, if they're going to get to Tampa, is what will ultimately get them there, in addition to Juju.
In their first round matchup, they'll face the SoCon champions at 16 seed.
All right, they're going to face... No, UConn was not going to get the 1 seed. That was not, yeah.
They're first since 1998, and I think you can tell that they're feeling it.
I can do some of those dances.
Can you? You still got them knees?
I still can't.
We gotta see me. I know. She's gonna do that over on E2 on the Bracketology show.
Love it.
The tease for you. So that your 116 matchup. As for your 8-9 matchup in regional.
Very true, Nick. Yeah.
It's the Cal Golden Bears, CP.
Hey, Cal Lady Bears.
Dangerous in the tournament. They got 2 players.
Good for Cal.
And Twydale, who have made over 93s apiece. They can light it up. The key for the Golden Bears is they have to take care of the basketball.
That is the reaction.
That's the reaction. There it is. And in their first round matchup, they'll face someone who's going to tell you to talk nice to them. Number 9, Mississippi State. Sam Purcell in his 3rd season there.
All right, so Lady Bears of Cal going to face Mississippi State.
Paint points per game allowed in the SEC this season. We move on to your 4-13 matchup. At that
All right,
position,
for the 4-13 matchup, Kentucky, Lady Wildcats. They don't seem very excited.
They are led by their point guard.
Oh.
We get a little dance performance. There we go. They were ready. WNBA Scouts front office members very high on Amore. This is a team that can knock down threes, and they have a lot of length on the defensive end. Watch out for the Wildcats. Their first round matchup will be against 13 seeded and the Conference USA champion Liberty Lady Flames, who are back in the tournament for the first time since 2018 after winning Conference USA.
Good for Liberty.
Too. Congratulations. Ticket punched officially. Your first round matchup is set. In that 5-12 matchup.
All right, looking for this 5-12 matchup. Kansas State Wildcats. So you got Kentucky versus Liberty.
Certainly we'll keep an eye on that as they will face in their first round matchup the MAC champion number 12
Fairfield.
Stags.
Where's that? Oh, Fairfield, Connecticut.
Tournament appearance back to back for the first time in school history. We see the dance. Okay. I don't know what any of these dances are called. I just think they're just like challenges based on TikTok, but that's fine. There is your 5-12 matchup. Moving to the bottom of the bracket here in Spokane, your 3-14 matchup sitting in that 3 position. It's the Oklahoma Sooners are out.
Oh.
Really enjoyed watching and calling Oklahoma games this year. They are anchored inside by Reagan Beers, the Oregon State transfer, averaging just under 18 points a game.
All right, Oklahoma Lady Sooners getting sliding in there.
Peyton Verhulst. She is a tough guard who does not capitulate to any defender.
Capitulate. Nice use. She's smiling too, by the way. She knew she dropped that. Capitulate. Very proud. Facing in the first round, sitting in that 14th spot, Florida Gulf Coast.
So Oklahoma, the 3 seed, gonna play Florida Gulf Coast. I love how they're, you know, of course they're leaving the 2 and 5, 2 and 15 game for the bottom there, leaving us hanging. Look at us hanging with UConn.
Championship game each of the last 2 years. Lose Caitlin Clark, but then Lucy Olsen transfers over from Villanova, leads the team with 18 points per game, and is first team All Big Ten. Congratulations. They'll face the Missouri Valley champion, number 11 seed Murray State Racers. 25 wins, most wins in program history, and their second tournament appearance ever. Also 2008. That was the last time. Congratulations to those Racers. We will see you on Saturday in Norman. As for our 2-15 matchup, sitting at that 2 spot, it's the UConn Huskies, CP.
UConn's coming into this tournament this year because they haven't won a championship since 2016. They are on a mission. Paige Beckers is starving to be cutting down the nets at the end of this tournament, so I think the Huskies are going to be motivated as they start their march in March Madness.
And they will be facing a tournament first-timer in the Sun Belt champion Arkansas State Rebels. Congratulations. You see the reaction there from Jonesboro? Okay. A little guy here. I don't know.
All right.
Like a tap dance.
Oh, that kid's cute.
He's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm hype about it. That is your 2-15 matchup in Spokane 4. And finally, the last 2 teams to be revealed, your 7-10 matchup. Sitting at number 7 is the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. First 25-win season since 2013-14. Congratulations. They've got 3
Hey, Oklahoma State Cowgirls. There they go.
most of the season. In over 8 years, they could be dangerous. They'll be facing in the first round, sitting at that 10 spot, the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. 13th tournament appearance, 1 shy of their second 30-win season since moving to D1. And they're led by Brooklyn Meyer, All Summit League first team, who leads their team in points per game. So there it is. Regional 4 Spokane.
Wow. Wow.
Number 1 seed there, USC. We felt like it was between USC and UConn. That's how the committee saw it. Just your initial reaction. Because, you know, we were doing some, like, Doctor Stranging and looking at all possible scenarios. How do you feel if you're USC getting this bracket with UConn?
Not too good. Because you have to go through the Huskies again to get to the Final Four, just like you did last year, if the seeds play out.
Sure.
And I think that's probably a little frustrating because UConn and South Carolina are the 2 teams in this tournament with the most March experience. They've done the most March winning. And if you're USC, you're still a little bit new to this game, relatively speaking. And now you've got to go through that team again in order to get to that elusive Final Four.
Not only if seeds hold and you meet them in the regional final, but
I'm
you
writing.
already played them this year in December, the highest rated game of the season by the way.
Crazy. How are we feeling about the way this thing shook out, chat for the women?
USC, yes, somebody you had to play last year and somebody you've already played this year.
Maybe you're at home, maybe you're like us, and you have all kinds of questions for the selection committee. And the good news is Holly Rowe is going to step in and help us there. Holly, what you got coming up?
Well, the committee has been sequestered in Indianapolis for 5 days, so they've got a lot to tell us about how this bracket came together. How about this? There were 13 regular season champions. 12 of them lost in their tournament, so the bracket got mixed up. We'll talk with committee chair Dorita Dawkins
Wow.
next. Trust me, we've got all the questions, and she'll have the answers.
And Bridget Case.
Hey, Hauser, thank you so much for the raid. Lost. Okay.
Let's
So okay, so how are we feeling about the way this shook out, chat? How are we feeling about the way this thing shook on out? We do have to go over I have to get a video over of snubs and surprises. Sorry if you guys are just getting here. We are watching Selection Sunday action. I am on some new stuff, so it's causing me to have a bit of a headache and be a little nauseous, be a little off. So hang in there with me. I was texted you that I was gonna. Thank you, Hauser. Thank you for the 42 months. That is absolutely insane. Thank you, thank you. What color would you like to change the microphone to, my friend? What color would you like to change the mic to?
Relaxing hobbies. Staying active. It's a lot, so I need my savings to last.
Okay, let's plan.
Love it. Red, you got it.
Company, your teammate for
All right.
whatever lies ahead.
What color is
Be the one thing that can change everything. Be bold. Be authentic. Be brilliant. Be the unexpected. Be an open heart. Be true. The beauty. The laughter. The laughter.
Obviously we know the biggest snubs and surprises for the men, but how are we feeling about the women? How are we feeling about the women, guys? Any surprises here?
Pandora.
There's losing, and then there's being the loser.
Ooh, this headache is not going away.
Enough pressure. Way too often, people are betting on sports, losing, and taking it out on the athletes.
There we go.
Only a loser would harass college athletes after losing a bet. But it happens almost every day.
What is this from?
Get crazy when the buzzer sounds, but don't
Oh
harass
my gosh,
anyone
okay.
because you lost a bet. It's time we draw the line and put an end to the abuse. Brought to you by the NCAA.
Feeling healthy by leaps and bounds. Making a dinner that makes their whole day. And giving your best friend the best
Okay.
nutrients for their best life. Science did that.
Oh, science did that. Any snubs we saw?
Clinically proven to moisturize.
We do. Let's see.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other.
Right? The women's bracket feels like several teams could win. I'm totally with you. Totally with you. Women's bracket.
Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or current eligible GMC owners get over 7,800 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
Jergens Natural Glow Sun Drops.
Um.
Just mix with my lotion and glow. The feel-good feeling of Jergens.
Welcome back to the NCAA Women's Special, presented by Capital One.
Bracket.
Well, the full 68-team field has been revealed. Some
Watch.
celebrations were a touch more muted than others as you take a look at the field, and maybe that's because some people have some questions about their path. And good for us, Holly's joined by the chair of the WNCAA Women's Basketball Committee, Dorita Dawkins.
Dorita, thanks for joining us. And you know, I'm sure there were a lot of teams that
Let me
felt
just
they
check in.
deserved
Hold
that
on.
#1 overall seed, but UCLA got it. What were some things you considered in giving the Bruins that?
Well, there were two key factors between UCLA and South Carolina. One was the head-to-head matchup, and the other was one of our criteria, which is competitive in losses. And South Carolina suffered a 29-point loss to UConn. So those were some of the those were the two key differences in those resumes.
Yeah, it's exciting for the Bruins.
Oh, okay. Wait. I missed that. Okay. Hold on. I need to hear this.
About their path, and good for us, Holly's joined by the chair of the WNCAA.
These the men's brackets. Auburn kind of got screwed. Right? Region, location. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. And, you know, I'm sure there were a lot of teams that felt they deserved that #1 overall seed, but UCLA got it. What were some things you considered in giving the Bruins that?
Well, there were two key factors between UCLA and South Carolina. One was the head-to-head matchup, and the other was one of our criteria, which is competitive in losses. And South Carolina suffered a 29-point loss to UConn. So those were some of the those were the two key differences in those resumes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exciting for the Bruins. Their first time being a #1 overall seed. One of the other questions we had when we glanced at the bracket was
We're listening
Notre
to-
Dame. You know, they are an ACC co-champion. They dropped to a 3 seed. How did you break down how Notre Dame ended up at a 3?
Well, being a little bit of a research nerd, I'm going to use a term. It was an interaction effect. It wasn't just what happened with Notre Dame in terms of them losing 3 of 5 down the stretch, but it was also what the teams that came out ahead of them did in their conference tournaments and winning the tournaments. So again, an interaction effect between those two things.
Right. It wasn't just what they did in losing 3 of 5. It's what other teams did to elevate their resume as well, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
One of the things
Okay.
that we looked at, Charlie
Getting
Sheen
all the-
talked about who
getting
would
all the-
host and who would be hosting comfortably. We thought Ole Miss might have a chance to host. They were just outside of that, hosting 1 through 16. Why was that?
Again, looking at the resumes between
Travis,
them
we're
and
good.
Maryland, again, substantial conversation by the committee about
It was-
who were going to be in those.
Part of the
top
trip was
16
good, part of the
spots.
trip was rough.
When you look at their wins against
Thank
top
you for
100
asking.
net,
Yeah.
that tips to Maryland. When you look
Guys,
at
we're
the
having to
total
put out
number
a
of losses, that tips
we're
to
having to
Maryland.
put out a
So,
reaction video
Maryland got
to
the 16 and Ole Miss the 17.
Okay, and then this
to
is
the women's
total
bracket.
mid-city TV
So I'm
person question,
getting
but you
notes
know
right
how
now.
Fans want to know if the seed holds, the chalk holds. You see 2 matchups in the Final Four that those teams have played 3 times already this season in USC, UCLA, and Texas and South Carolina. Was there any conversation that maybe fans will want to see something different, or how do you guys see those potential Final Four matchups with the top 4 seeds?
I think fans want to see good basketball, and they're going to see that. I think the teams deserve to be seeded and bracketed according to the work they've done all year on the court, and that's what we did. We stuck true to the S curve, put those teams in the slots that they earned, and that's the bracket. And I think the fans are going to see some really good basketball, and they're going to see some new matchups. Because
If you're just joining us, we are watching reactions now to the women's bracket reveal here on Selection Sunday. We had the men's as well earlier. I will keep you guys posted. I'm
FDU, and William and Mary.
trying to get my health fully regulated right now, so I'm going to keep you guys posted on. I'm going to try to stream Wednesday. I will keep you guys posted though on the.
Give you a shout out for your poppin' red lip tonight. Great job. Thank you.
That's called a party lip. I do want to get your, now that we've had a minute to digest and sort of sit and marinate on this, your biggest takeaways as you look at the bracket. But RL, I do want to start with you because we just heard her talk about it right there. The potential, if everything goes chalk, for what those Final Four matchups could be.
Well, yeah, if everything goes chalk, you have 2 semifinal games where teams are playing each other for the 4th time. And we know when you get to a conference tournament and you're playing each other for a 3rd time, the basketball tends to not be the prettiest because the teams know each other so well. So it'll be really interesting if it does go chalk and we've got these 2 teams playing for the 4th time and these 2 teams playing for the 4th.
Charlie?
And that's where the order of the number 1 seeds is such a big deal. We kind of knew who they were going to be, but it does matter the order that they're put in, and those are tough decisions the committee has to marinate on. And
No worries.
This is what they decided, and sticking to the S curve, I think that is important, but it does create what we might see in the Final Four, which for fans, and I think for us to some degree, may not be as ideal as we'd like.
Well, when you look at it geographically, you've got the 2 West Coasts. That's what 2-3 time zones before you would get to Florida, versus going out of Birmingham 1 time zone. You have 2 West Coast teams that aren't really used to playing in that time zone. So, what kind of advantage will it give the regions that are in Birmingham headed to the Final Four?
You know, I'm just stuck.
Yeah, what about time zone advantage, chat?
Yeah. And how I wanted to see some of the best games that we have seen this season.
You asked for it.
I asked for it, but I got it too soon. I got it too soon. I'm stuck on UConn and USC, 2 of the biggest superstars in our game. That to me, and I know this probably is very far down on the committee's list of how they're deciding on where to put teams, but I do feel like there was some sort of scenario where we didn't see UConn USC so early in the tournament.
We felt the exact same way last year when we knew we could potentially get an Iowa LSU Sweet 16 or Elite 8 matchup that we felt it was too early as well. But again, that's if everything goes chalk.
Right,
Certainly we'll see. Now that we've seen the full bracket, shall we give you some tips on how you should fill yours out? It's presented by Allstate. Since the tournament expanded to 64 teams in 94, Top 3 seeds are 359-1 in the
Wow.
round of 64. That lone loss, number 1 seed Stanford, losing to 16 seed Harvard in 1998. Haven't seen it since. 1 seeds have won 11 of the last 12 titles, and all 42 champs have been seeded in the top 3. Just keep that in mind as you get ready. Okay, Harvard. Remember that the brackets are open, so go ahead and scan this QR code, download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app, fill out your brackets. We'll all be filling out brackets. You can compete with us. My brackets are never really all that good, but I do take ownership of picking NC State for a Final Four run last year.
You're never going to let that
I'm never going to ever forget it.
You shouldn't. I'll remember that.
Thank you, sir. Charlie Cream.
So
Get
funny.
Some of the reactions as the full field is set. A reminder, we're going over to E2 in just a moment to break it all down.
Okay, chat. How we doing? How we feeling? Looking alive? Feeling good? Yeah. Okay. Well, I had so much fun hanging out and watching this Selection Sunday action with you guys as my first stream back in a minute. So thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I was hoping to see some more of our regulars because I kind of wanted to have a heart-to-heart conversation with some of you guys. But seems I don't think think it's a pretty light night.
That's why we're the bank.
Especially as it got later. Yay, Lauren's here. Maybe we'll chat on Wednesday. I'm hoping I can try to be live Wednesday. I'm praying.
Told you you'd know the best spot.
A light night. That's right, AJ.
Starting at 56,520.
Well, I'm like, I have to get this video done, but I'm trying to figure out.
Design studio. Win a really big design contract. Realize you're more of a creative type than a finance type. Realize you got this. Use QuickBooks to get your cash flow flowing. Get live expert assistance to maximize your tax savings.
I can help with that.
Get back to doing
All right.
what you love.
I think this headache is kicking my ass, so I'm gonna get off to get this video done. Yeah, I'm on this new thing, and so there's kind of side effects when you first start. So I think that's definitely happening right now. Anyway, I love you guys very, very, very much. Let me at least let's bump up the FanDuel viewership real fast. God, I'm really out of practice. Holy cow. What? Oh, you can't raid? That's weird.
Soccer is just one part of my story. Jordan outside of soccer is a little bit different than Jordan in soccer. I have moments where I can be silly. I have moments where I can be serious, and we definitely get
All right, guys. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you hopefully on Wednesday, but definitely on Thursday for all-day March Madness action, okay? Love you guys. Make sure you're following on social media so that you get updates on everything. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I'm kind of going through some stuff right now, so just hang in there. All right, love you guys.